All right, Shalom Israel, how y'all doing today? Welcome back to class. And we want to foremost give a shout out to all our brothers and sisters in class and also online. Mighty shout out to y'all that's watching online. All the brothers and sisters that's fighting. Somebody give me Romans 12:1 real fast. Read that real quick, whoever got it.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren.
I beg you, therefore, brethren. Read on.
By the mercies of the Most High.
By the mercies of the Most High. Read on.
That you present your body.
That you present your what?
Your body.
So what we want to do is give a shout out to the brothers and sisters that are not just online, but also they're presenting their bodies to who?
So to present your bodies a living sacrifice.
They're presenting their bodies a living sacrifice. Go ahead.
Holy.
Holy.
Acceptable.
True. Acceptable. Read on.
Unto the Most High.
Unto the Most High. Go ahead.
Which is your reasonable service.
So we want to give a shout out to those that are new, those that are learning this knowledge, and also those that are making those sacrifices and making those changes and becoming a living sacrifice for the work and for the body of Christ. We want to give a shout out for them as well. He said, because this is our reasonable service. This is the least that we can do to show the Most High that we appreciate what He's done for us by giving us this knowledge and giving us this opportunity to even be a servant and to minister to the Most High. So for those that are doing this, living this, shalom to you. And for those that have not done it, keep studying so that you can become a living sacrifice. Like each and every one of us that have either learned by way of internet, TV, a friend, a flyer, radio, television broadcast, or however you got this truth. The Most High was giving you a formal invitation to dedicate yourself and become a living sacrifice. So for those that took that invitation and enroll themselves in this lifestyle, shalom to you, brothers and sisters. So keep up the dedication and the commitment, because that's the least that we can do. There's always more that we can do. So first and foremost, shout out to those brothers and sisters in Rochester, New York, Houston, Texas, Norfolk, Virginia, isbhpk, that's scattered all throughout the United States, and also for the listeners online that we have. Seems that we have a heavy influx of people watching in the UK. Shalom to you as well. In the islands, shalom to you as well. California, Guatemala, Cabo Cabo, Guatemala, Amiyatazah, shalom to you brothers as well. Lion of Judah, I believe, in California. Shalom to you as well. Shalom to all the brothers and sisters. All right, so with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. The topic of the class is called Recovery in Christ. All right, somebody give me the definition, and somebody else give me John chapter 5. You get that right? John chapter 5, verse 6 through 9. All right, so somebody get that definition of recovery, and somebody else get the scripture that I just called St. John chapter 5, verse 6 through 9.
Recovery.
All right, so hold that real quick, and let's get the scripture, and I want you to grab that verse real quick. So who got the St. John chapter 5?
St. John.
Whoever got it.
St. John chapter 5, verse 9.
6.
Line. St. John chapter 5, verse 6. When Yahushua saw him lie, and knew that he had been now a long time in that case,
Go ahead.
he saith unto him, Wilt thou be made whole?
So now we understand that. Give me the verse. Maybe it's a little. I don't want to read the whole thing, but just the verse where he talks about how long he's been sitting in this situation. How many years he been in this situation? Read verse 5.
Come. And a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years.
How long has this man been in this situation?
38 years.
All right. So he said this man was in this situation, in this particular sickness, in this particular state of mind and physical depravity for about 38 years.
Almost 4 decades.
Yeah, that's almost 4 decades, almost half a century in totality. If a man get 80 years, that's half a man's life.
Yeah.
Sitting in a state of mind that's sick and a physical condition that's sick. So for one, it shows you that any sickness is healable, regardless of how long you've been in it. But also it shows something else, and that's what we want to get into. So read on down.
When Yahushua saw him lie, and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he saith unto him, Wilt thou be made whole?
He said, he asked him, okay, I know. So Christ made an assessment. He saw the man in a position, a particular state of mind and well-being, handicapped position. He said, "Will thou be made whole?" So before he asked him, "Will thou be made whole?" he assessed this man's symptoms. Man, this man's been like this for a while. It's been a long-standing illness. Read on.
The impotent man answered.
The impotent just means lame or inability or unable to utilize your power. So this man is powerless. He's immobile. Read on.
The impotent man answered him, "Sir, I have no man."
He said, "I have no what?"
No man.
He said, "I have no man," meaning what?
No help.
I don't got no help. So when this man in this man's state of mind, the part of the reason why he's in this condition is because he's looking for what? He's saying, "I don't have any help," meaning I got to do this by myself. Read on.
When the water is troubled.
He said, when the water's troubled, because the angel comes down in a season, troubles the water, first one to get in, first one gets healed, right? So he never gets a chance to get in before anybody else. He said when the water's troubled, read on.
To put me into the pool.
Go ahead.
But while I am coming, another steppeth down before me.
He said, "Man, I'm trying to get in the pool." He said, "But when I get close to the water, somebody else, they jump in, they step over me, and they get in the pool, and I'm stuck." Read.
Yahushua saith unto him.
Stop. Now, what would you say this is? How would you analyze this man's symptom? What is his sickness? We know he's impotent, but what else is his issue?
Lack of hope. Willing to fight.
Willing to fight, motivation. Man, this is why we have this class, because you're gonna always get into a situation where you're gonna feel like, I don't know if I can continue, and I don't know if what to do in this situation. I don't have any help. I got to do this by myself. There's always a time when tragedy may strike, situations may strike, and you have to fight.
Well, the odds are stacked against him.
Yep.
Because according to his vice situation, the odds are stacked against him.
Yep. And so right in his mind, there's no opportunity. I'm such at a disadvantage that I can't overcome this issue.
He's the sickest of the sick, because everybody else was sick, but they had the ability to get past him. Because if they were at the pool, then they were sick.
Exactly.
A healthy person, a well person, is not trying to get in that water because he's already well.
There's no need for him to get in that water.
So he was the sickest of the sick in that situation.
Right. So what we would look at in the medical field,
AC?
when you look at this condition in the medical field, psychologists they call this sickness or this long-standing illness a failure to resilience. But get that definition in recovery first.
Recovery. The act of regaining, retaking, or obtaining.
It says the act of what?
The act of regaining.
So recovery means that the act, it's an action. It's the act of what?
Regaining.
It's the act of regaining. What else?
Retaking.
Retaking. What else?
Or obtaining possession.
Or obtaining possession of what?
Of anything lost.
Obtaining possession of anything lost. That's recovery, right? So, what psychologists say is that when people have illnesses, because not only was this man illness physical, but by his comment you could tell that his illness was also psychological. This man's illness went beyond just physical, because he told himself, I don't have any help. I don't have any man to help me step down into the water. So it was psychological. Psychologists call this mind frame the failure of resilience. Yes, it says it's a failure of resilience. Somebody get that definition of resilience, so we understand what resilience means, and then we'll get a scripture to go there also. And somebody else give me, after we get this definition. Somebody, I don't have it on the screen. We're just gonna pull it. It's in Proverbs chapter 24.
I got Proverbs 24.
You got Proverbs. Okay, hold that in Proverbs 24. Get that definition first.
Resilience, the act of leaping or springing back, or the act of rebounding.
It's the act of what?
act of rebounding.
It's the act of, start it over from the definition.
Okay. Resilience, the act of leaping or springing back, or the act of rebounding.
Basically, it's coming back from a fall or a fault or an injury or something of a handicap position. You have an issue. It's how you bounce back from these issues. And so psychologists call this they said they're treating a failure of resilience, meaning a lot of people stay in a certain particular sickness because they fail to bounce back. They fail to recover themselves from the issues. But we know that the scripture says that in Proverbs 24, you got verse 16?
16.
Yeah.
Proverbs 24, verse 16.
Let's read that.
For a just man.
It says for what?
For a just man.
It says for what?
For a just man.
So a man that's just, that cares about judgment, righteousness, about doing things the right way, it says a just man does what?
Falleth 7 times.
Which means what? It's a complete number of times. 7 is a whole number. So it's a complete number. So this means that a just man that cares about righteousness, you got a Bible?
No.
So it says a just man falls how many times?
7 times.
So it's okay to fall. It says a just man falls 7 times, but what?
And riseth up again.
But he does what?
Riseth up again.
But he gets back on his feet. See, it's inevitable that in life you're going to fall, you're going to fail, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to hit a wall. There's going to be some stumbling blocks. There's going to be some missteps. There's going to be some miscalculations. There's going to be some things that you do that's going to be full of mistakes, errors, problems. There's no perfect situation. He said, but when you do fall, he said, if you care about righteousness, you'll do what?
And riseth up again.
You'll get back up on your feet. So it's okay to fall, but within that fall, what the Most High is expecting is some type of recovery.
And that means if the Most High expects recovery, the recovery is possible. If he expects it.
Right. If he says a just man falls 7 times, but read that scripture again.
Come on. Proverbs chapter 24, verse 16. For a just man falleth 7 times.
Read on.
And riseth up again.
And rises up again. Read on.
But the wicked shall fall into mischief.
So, but if I don't care about doing things the right way, I'm going to keep making the same old mistakes and the same old errors. If I don't make a change, if I don't make a commitment to doing things the right way.
So are you saying that failure happens, but there's a wicked man's response and there's a righteous man's response?
Absolutely.
But it's to the same condition.
Yeah. They both have the same opportunity. It's just that one chooses to pursue righteousness because he's tired of his mistakes and he wants to get back up. He wants to do things the right way. So that's what resilience is all about. That definition of resilience again.
Definition work?
Resilience, the act of leaping or springing back, or the act of rebounding.
See, the Most High wants you to come back from a fall. He really does. The Most High don't want to see somebody fall into mischief. We almost paint the Most High like a villain. Like the Most High is like some mad villain behind a curtain pulling strings, and he loves it when you fall and you have issues. He loves it when you make mistakes. We paint the Most High as if the Most High wants me to fail. He doesn't. He actually doesn't at all. Matter of fact, just prove that real quick. Go to Ezekiel 33. Read the verse, around verse 15.
15?
Yeah, time. I don't have it on the screen.
Ezekiel 33 verse 15.
Ezekiel 33 and verse 15. If the wicked restore the pledge.
He said, listen, man, if you start just doing things right, he said, just start doing things right. It's okay to fall as long as you get back up. That's what he wants. He wants recovery. The Most High wants resilience. He wants to see you spring back on your feet. So he says, if the wicked do what?
If the wicked restore the pledge.
He said, if the wicked restore the pledge, read on.
Give again that he had robbed.
The pledge, first and foremost, is the commandments. That I'm going to make a commitment to serve the Most High's commandments. So let that be clear. When he says, when the wicked restore the pledge, he's talking about that pledge is that commitment to serve the Most High in righteousness based on his commandments. Go ahead.
Give again that he had robbed.
So I return the things that I robbed. I mean, if I've done anything wrong, then you know what? I'm trying to restore my wrongdoings. I'm trying to make right my wrongs. I'm trying to rewrite my wrongs. Read on.
Walk in the statutes of life.
Statutes of life is the commandments, the scriptures. Read on.
Without committing iniquity.
And without committing iniquity, just put away the evil of your doings without committing iniquity. Read on.
He shall surely live.
He said he shall what?
Surely live.
Go ahead.
He shall not die.
He shall not what?
Not die.
The Most High said this man, all he has to do is make minor tweaks, make minor changes, make some changes in his life, make a covenant, obey the covenant and the commitment he had with the Most High based on the commandments. Go back and rewrite your wrongs, forsake your wrongdoings, and the Most High said, man, I'll put that man back on his feet. I'll assist this man in helping this man recover. How do you know the Most High don't want you to die? Read verse 11.
Come. Ezekiel 33 and verse 11. Say unto them, as I live, saith the Most High, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked.
Bingo. The Most High just said right there that he has no what?
Pleasure in the death of the wicked.
Now,
So he can't be a villain.
the Most High is not a villain. He's not a villain. He's not one sitting back plotting your falls unless you choose to disobey his commandments and choose to walk according to your own direction. And you don't have a desire to recover. And if you don't have a desire to change, then that's when the Most High will frame a work against you, an evil work against you. And the Most High will choose your delusions at that point. But if the Most High sees that you care about recovering yourself, getting back on your feet, the Most High said, I have no pleasure in what?
In the death of the wicked.
Man, so the Most High is not rubbing his hands when a man falls. The Most High is not laughing when a man falls, unless the Most High has told this man repeatedly and he's not listening. Read on.
But that the wicked turn from his way and live.
He said, I want the wicked to what?
Turn from his way and live.
Read on.
Turn ye.
That's why he said it twice. He said, man, all I want you to do is what?
Turn ye.
What does that mean? I want you to change direction. I just want you to change direction. Change the course of your life. Change the direction that your life is going on. That's all he's asking for. He said, turn ye. Read on.
Turn ye. Turn ye from your evil way.
That's all you got to do. Just change your lifestyle. Make some lifestyle changes. And the Most High said he'll be there to assist you and help you recover yourself. The Most High is about recovery. He wants you to get back on your feet. He's about resilience. So it's not like the Most High is some evil man wanting you to fail. When you look at why psychologists say that treating a psychological issue is a failure of resilience, is because people have attachments to sin. And it's not sin that they attach to, but it's the pleasure that came with the sin. So it's almost a hood mentality where, you know, they say you can take a person out the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out the person. Whatever that saying is. You know what I'm saying? You take a person out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the person. Meaning, I can remove this person from this scenario, but they still have a desire to duplicate those ways. They have an attachment and those affiliations to that behavior. So when psychologists look at people that they're trying to help get back on their feet, they got to first show them that you have this attachment that is hindering your recovery. The attachments are the fun that I had while I was sinning, which is the memories. Man, I had a good time. We were free. Man, we enjoyed it. We didn't have to think about things. We were numb to pain. We were numb to aggression. We were having a good time. The music was good.
I was in bliss.
I was in bliss. I was having a good time. The songs were great, man. The concerts were rowdy.
People, something like that, they talk about those old 70s concerts.
Yeah, the hippie era.
They sound like them. They talk about how it used to be at Woodstock or Judah, how it used to be the old parties before people shot the parties up, how it used to be the basement parties in New York.
Yeah, they're spinning records.
The basement parties in New York. How Jake talked about they used to smoke and chill and live their life back in the day.
Or we was cruising, man. We used to hit the highway.
You used to hit the block, hit the highway.
We used to hit the highway,
go up and
just
down
cruise,
military,
man.
up and down, just cruise.
Just hit the beach.
Exactly.
It's not that it's the sin that they're attached to. It's the pleasure that came with it. But the pleasure that comes with sin is temporary. It's not lifelong, and it comes with a consequence and a cost. The wages of sin is what?
Yeah.
So there's a cost to pay for it. But that's why the Most High asks, why will you die? Because what psychologists are realizing is that, you know, we got to look at the spiritual aspect, the mental aspect, the physical aspect. We got to look at why do people want to do this? Why are people indulging in such a capacity? That's what Solomon asked. Go to Ecclesiastes. I want you to go to Ecclesiastes chapter 2. And the Bible. And I want you to start at start at verse 10.
Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 2 and verse 10.
Hey, Shalom family online. All right, go ahead.
And whatsoever mine eyes desire, I kept not from them.
So, give me Ecclesiastes first, so we can put this in context. Jump back to chapter 1, verse 10, and then we're gonna bring it up to speed real quick.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new?
This is new. Go ahead.
It hath been already of old time.
See, the same things that we do today, the generation before us did the same exact thing, man. They partied, they clubbed, they traveled, they hit the highway, they hit the park. You know what I'm saying? They played dominoes, they played tonk, big whiz. They had their own little games of fun. They had their own little house parties. They did the same thing, but that's nothing new. We're not doing anything new. Everything that's been done that people are doing now has already been done. Gang fights. They did all that previous. All you gotta do is talk to your old heads and your family, and they'll tell you some stories. Some of them stories they don't even want to tell you no more because they're embarrassed. The wild, especially in the 70s, how wild it was in the 70s.
Yeah.
Just want to live a carefree life, partying, craziness. He said, but there's nothing new. Jump down to read on down.
Celebrating off of that whole era of civil rights era.
Con.
We want to celebrate after that. We made it.
Jump down to verse 13. We're just gonna skip through this real quick.
Come, verse 13. And I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven.
So what Solomon is saying is, man, I want to know why are people so engaged in living their life the way they do? Why do people exhibit certain behaviors and they give themselves wholeheartedly to whatever they feel is going to give them happiness and joy? So Solomon said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a comparative analysis on what wisdom is like versus what me enjoying my life is like. He said, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way into wisdom, but also I'm going to go all the way into life, living life.
Yeah.
I'm going to go all the way in. I'm going to go all the way into what it means to suck the marrow out of having a good time. I'm going to find out, why do people enjoy just being carefree, having a good time, giving themselves to indulgence and pleasure? He said, I'm going to do both, because I got to know, I got to do a comparative analysis on which one is best for me, which one has the better outcome, which one reaps the better benefit in the long run, which one has the long-standing reward. So I'm going to do both. So what Solomon is saying is, he's about to set himself into a challenge mind. He's going to challenge himself. I'm going to go all the way right, but then I'm going to go all the way left. Then I'm going to find out, after I go all the way right, and I go all the way left, I'm going to find out which one is better. And then what I learned from the situations, that I'm gonna make mention of and pass it on. So he said, verse 13 one more time.
Verse 13. And I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven.
Go ahead.
This sore travail hath the Most High given.
Now he said, listen to this. He said, you know why I'm doing this? He said, because I want to be able to relate. He said, because this sore travail, read on.
This sore travail hath the Most High given to the sons of man to be exercised.
He said he's giving this to who?
To the sons of man.
Because you know what? Guess who else is going to live life going all the way right, going all the way left? Or sometimes go left first, then I go right. Or I go right, then I go left, then I go right, then I go left. Because that's what that just man do. He falls 7 times. So I bounce back and forth between righteousness and wickedness. He said, you know what? He said, I know also I'm not the only one that's going to be doing this. He said this travail, meaning this type of life, that word travail is occupation or work. He said this type of occupation, people they're gonna be doing this themselves. So I might as well find it out. What is the benefits of this type of life? And what's the downfall to this type of life? So I'm gonna investigate. I'm gonna do some investigation. Read on.
This sort of travail hath the Most High given to the sons of man to be exercised therewith.
It said men are gonna exercise the same. They gotta learn. They gotta learn by their mistakes too. Man's gonna make some good decisions, and man's gonna make some bad decisions. And his decisions are gonna be teachers. And every man's gonna have to go through life where their decision making is their teacher. So I might as well indulge. But Solomon said, I'm gonna go all the way in it. Read on down, jump down. We're gonna get to the point. Jump down, verse 16.
Verse 16, Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 16. I commune with my own heart, saying.
He said, I thought deep within myself. Saying what?
Saying, lo, I am come to great estate.
He said, man, the Most High has blessed me. Read on.
And have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem.
Read on.
Yet my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge.
Go ahead. And what did he find out by giving his mind to wisdom and pursuing knowledge? Read on.
Verse 17. And I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness.
He said, and I gave my mind to know what?
Madness.
Wisdom and madness. They're counter.
They're opposites, man.
They're complete opposites.
He said, but I had to know. I had to find out. What is it that makes man want to pursue? What's the benefit of that lifestyle of madness and folly, man? What do you get out of it? He had to find out. So he said he completely indulged in righteousness and in folly and madness. Read on.
And to know madness and folly, I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit.
He said both of them are vexation of spirit. Why is that?
For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow.
Because you know what? The more you know, the more what? You're accountable for it. The more you know, the more that you got to abide by your knowledge. You got to hold fast to your knowledge. So you're without more excuses.
It's not the time of ignorance where the Most High winketh.
Yeah, he's not winking at it. So now the most High, he said, much is given, much is what? Much is required. So the Most High give you a lot of knowledge and wisdom. Guess what? You got to be accountable for it. So they both have their benefits, but read on down, chapter 2, verse 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 1. I said in my heart, go to now, I will prove thee with mirth. Therefore enjoy pleasure.
He said, therefore I'm gonna do what?
Enjoy pleasure.
I'm gonna completely indulge. I'm gonna go all the way into pleasure, trying to find satisfaction. I'm looking for fun, joy, and I'm looking for a good feeling. I want to feel good. So I'm gonna go deep into pleasure. Read on.
And behold, this also is vanity.
He said, man, that lifestyle is also what?
Also vanity.
What does vanity mean?
Worthless.
Nothing is worth.
It's worth. There's no value to it. There's no value to going all the way into just pursuing what makes you feel good, what makes you happy, and what satisfies your flesh. He said, man, this is vanity too. There's no benefit in the end of it. What you got, y'all?
Vanity, empty pleasure, vain pursuit, or an idle show.
He said, what? Read it one more time.
Vanity is empty pleasure.
Empty pleasure, man. Pleasure that, you know what, you thought it would make you feel better, but in the end it did nothing for you spiritually. I thought that it would actually benefit me somehow, but it doesn't benefit you at all. You know why? Because there's nothing earthly that can suit your soul. So you can go into what Solomon said he went to. We didn't read it all, but when you read what Solomon is saying, jump down to verse 4 real quick.
Ecclesiastes 2 and 4. I made me great works. I builded me houses. I planted me vineyards.
Go ahead. So what do you do with a vineyard? You got grapes. You got raspberries. You got fruits of all kind. Go ahead.
I made me gardens and orchards, and I planted trees in them of all kind of fruits.
He put in a long experience. Listen, no, they don't grow in one day. Ain't no microwave, right?
You know what he
It
said?
takes time for this.
I invested in all these things.
Come.
We ain't gonna read it all, but the point of it is that after he invested in all these things, wine, costly jewelry, collecting treasure, silver and gold, he said, man, I didn't really get nothing out of it. He said the only thing with collecting all these things, you gotta see, like men do. We do these same things. We collect shoes. Men love collecting shoes, Jordans. Man, we collect CDs, music. We're collectors, bro. We're a bunch of collectors. I collect things that I think have value. I got several different watches to choose from. I got several different cars to drive. We're just collectors, man. I got buffalo hide glasses. Buffs. I got buffs on. Man, you know what? We just collectors of just things that actually have no value. They don't actually do anything for you spiritually, but we stay attached to them. How do you know this? Because he said this in chapter 5. Real quick, just just straight to the point. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, and I want you to get give me verse 9.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5.
No, Ecclesiastes in the Bible. In the Bible. I said cuss, my bad. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 9, my bad.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 9 in the Bible. Moreover, the profit of the earth for all.
He said the profit of the earth is for who?
For all.
So everything that you need in life grows right out the earth. Basically, you just need to eat, you need to drink, you need to have some clothes. Keep it simple. That's a simple life. The earth will give you food, drink, some shelter, and some cover on your body. He said it's for all. Read on.
The king himself is served by the field.
He said even the king, regardless of his rank and position, he still depends on the earth to function. So it doesn't matter what your rank is, how high you are, how rich you are, how wealthy you are. You still need what comes out of the earth to function. Read on.
Verse 10. He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver.
Now he's going straight to the point. What else come out the ground?
Silver.
Silver come out the ground. But if you love silver, guess what?
Won't be satisfied.
You're not going to be satisfied. It's still the same Solomon that said that he went all the way into collecting things. He went all the way into indulging. So if anybody knows, it's him. He said, listen, you can get the silver and the gold out the earth, and you can extract as much as you want, and guess what? It's going to be vanity. You're still not going to be pleased with it. You can have all the cars in the world you want. You're not going to be happy. You can have all the women in the world you want. You're not going to be happy. You can have all the money, the jewelry, the fun, the wine, the excitement, and you're not going to be happy. He's already been there and done that is what he's saying. So he's saying, listen, you're not going to be fulfilled in that. Read on.
Nor he that loveth abundance with increase.
He said, or he that loveth abundance, meaning excess with increase. Meaning they like to have extra. I like to have 2 pair. I need 2 pair.
Yeah.
Give me 2 pair. You know what I'm saying? We like to have more than one. But you know what? For those that like to have abundance, guess what? There's no benefit in that either. He's going to tell you what the benefit of abundance is. Read on.
This also is vanity.
He said that's also to have. You know, I got that, brother. You got that book? I got that book, brother. I got that already.
I've been had that.
I've been had that. You got them shoes on? Oh man, I already got it.
First day that came out, I was there.
I got every color. But you know what? He said, listen, there's no value even in abundance, in collecting things. Because we think that we have the upper hand on somebody because I got more than one. He said that's vanity. Read on.
Verse 11. When goods increase, they are increased that eat them.
He said, you know what the goods came out the earth for? You're supposed to eat them and use them. We'll take shoes, put them on the shelf, just say we got them. What the hell was the shoes for?
Robotic.
Do you wear those? No, I don't really wear those. I might wear them. Then I wipe them down, I put them back in the box. Or I ain't never wore those. I got clothes in the closet I ain't never wore. I got tags still on them. I ain't popped the tag yet. But you know what? I got them though. He said, man, if you got something, it was supposed to be for the benefit of the purpose of what it was for. If you got shoes, wear the shoes. You wear them out, go get another one. You don't need to collect a bunch of shoes. You don't need to collect a bunch of silver, collect a bunch of watches. I just need one for every day of the week. I like to have one for Monday. I got Tuesday. You know, I switch it up for Wednesday. Man, we love to have abundance, and it does nothing for you. He said what you got was supposed to be for utilization. Read on.
And what good is there to the owners thereof?
He said, and what good is it to the owners thereof? What advantage do you have because you got more than one of anything? He's going to tell you. It's for what?
Saving the beholding of them with
He
their
said,
eyes.
saving what?
Saving the beholding of them with their eyes.
Just so you can look at it. That's all you got. That's the benefit of having abundance. Just so you can say, man, look at this closet. I got choices.
Look at what I got.
Look at what I got, man. Look at what I got. Look at what I built for myself. Look, yeah, you know what I'm saying. He said it's only for eye service to the person that's collecting these items. It's not beneficial to you whatsoever. It's only for the fact of saying, because you think it enhances you because you got choices. He said, man, that's vanity too. Just to say I got something, that's all you're gonna do is look at it, man. Look at this watch. Okay, I looked at the watch. Now what? Okay, I looked at the shoes. Now what?
I saw this watch the day on TikTok, and or YouTube actually, YouTube short, right? And the dude had a Godfather watch, expensive, like $50 million watch, and he spun it, and then it made the theme song. And that was it.
Wow, you got
He spent $15 million.
You got $15 million on a toy.
It went
on a toy Godfather watch.
Yeah, he smiled like he did something, and then the song like ended like in 30 seconds.
You know, that's why Solomon said it's all vanity.
Oh.
That's why Solomon said, man, I done done that already. That's why everything that people do to look to have pleasure in, he said, man, I've already done it. You know what I found out by going all the way into it? It's useless. He said it's only for the beholder to do what?
Beholding of them with their eyes.
It's only for your eyes. That's why the Most High say hate the world. Because it says the lust of the eyes that's in the world. And the pride of life. I got something you don't got. I have more than you. As if it accelerates you or makes you better of a person. That's why Solomon said, that's why he's downplaying the outcome of when you go all the way left. Because he understands that it's empty. Now that word, that definition of vanity, I only went there to show that definition of vanity, what Yahweh had. Read that and let's go back to where we was at in Ecclesiastes.
Vanity. It says empty pleasure.
It's empty pleasure, man. Read on.
Vain pursuit.
Vain pursuit. Go ahead.
Idle show.
It's an idle show. It has no real merit. There's no real virtue, and there's no morality attached to it.
Unsubstantial enjoyment.
It's unsubstantial enjoyment. Many men spend their life and their resources on unsubstantial what?
Unsubstantial enjoyment.
Unsubstantial enjoyment. Meaning, I partied, I had a good time, but what did it do for me as a man or a woman? Nothing. I had a good time. I was I was carefree. I could come and go as I wanted. I can enjoy myself, but what did it do for me as a man? What did it do for my spirit? What did it do for my relationship with the Father? Nothing, man. A lot of men are burning a lot of their resources, time included, on empty pursuits. What you got?
Last one. Fruitless desire or endeavor.
Fruitless, man, them definitions are powerful. He said fruitless desire or endeavor. So Solomon said, man, I went all the way to that. I went all the way into that lifestyle to find out that all of it don't add up to nothing. It's fruitless in the end. So now go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 2 real quick. Ecclesiastes chapter 2. And I want you to read
10.
Yeah, read 10.
Ecclesiastes in the Bible chapter 2 and verse 10. And whatsoever my eyes desired, I kept not from them, and withheld not my heart from any joy. For my heart rejoiced in all my labor, and this was my portion of all my labor. Then I looked on all the works that my hands had wrought.
He said, then I looked back at everything that I did. Read on.
And on the labor that I had labored to do. And behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun.
And there was no real profit, because you know what? No matter what I did, there was no real benefit to it, and it was not long lasting. It didn't advance me in any kind of way spiritually or morally or intellectually. It didn't edify. None of these trinkets that he acquired, none of this pleasure that he pursued, it excelled him in any kind of way. Through all the drinking, the wine, the madness, the folly, Solomon went all the way with it. That's why from his experience, read on down.
Come. Verse 12. And I turn myself to behold wisdom and madness and folly.
Go ahead.
And what can the man do that cometh after the king?
And that's why he said, listen, man, Solomon is saying, take it from me. Don't waste your time. Take it from me. Don't waste your life.
He had more resources to pursue.
He had more ability,
Pleasures.
more resources, more wealth. He had servants. When you read on up in the chapter, he had man servants, women servants. He had wives. He had orchards. He had vineyards. He had treasure cities. He had a navy. He had a fleet. He had an armada. Solomon had whatever man wanted. But he said, you know what? I'm telling you from my experience that you're wasting your life looking for pleasure that you're going to find out is empty. It means nothing. You're destroying yourself for no reason. Read on.
It says, even that which has been already done.
He said, what is a man going to do after me? I've taken it to such a level that if anybody comes after me, they can't say they're doing something new. What they've done, I've already done. I did it so they don't have to do it. And so they don't have to come to the same conclusion that I came to. I'm telling you in advance, it's vanity.
It's not a mystery.
It's not a mystery.
Because sometimes there's the mystery people deal with, that there's this curiosity of, you know what, I haven't experienced, I haven't seen anybody else experience it, so I need to experience it for myself.
Right.
To prove it, to see if it's true.
Absolutely.
He's saying, listen, I've proven this beyond whatever degree you could prove it. I had the time and resources to commit to these different pursuits.
Finish that next verse.
Verse 13. Then I saw that wisdom excelleth folly.
He said, then I saw that what?
Wisdom excelleth folly.
Then he said, man, you know what? After I did my comparative analysis, I found out that wisdom is what?
Excelleth folly.
It's greater than folly. So get that next verse for me, that we have real quick.
Proverbs 3, verse 23.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 23.
So he found that wisdom excels what?
Folly.
Folly. Read.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 23. Then shalt thou walk in thy way safely.
Then you're going to walk in the way safely. If I have my mind in the right place, my spirit in the right place, my spirit is in the condition of safety. It's not in danger of hellfire. It's not in danger of being absorbed in a negative light. It's not in danger of being distracted and pulled away by fruitless pursuits. Read on.
And thy foot shall not stumble.
And my foot shall not stumble, meaning I'm in the right direction. I did my life, I pursued my life in the correct direction, as the Heavenly Father would want me to. I didn't waste my time. I didn't waste my ability, my youth. Read.
Verse 24. When thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid.
I don't have to go to sleep and have this panic attacks in my bed about, am I living my life the right way? Did I really receive? Did I really do what was necessary? I'm not happy with my life. I'm not content. Those long night conversations, those self monologues, I don't have to have that, because I pursue things that matter, substance. Read on. Because when we pursue things that don't have substance, there's something that we're missing, something important in the picture that we're neglecting through pursuance of vanity. Read on.
Yea, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet.
And guess what? When a person gives themselves to things that matter, when they check the boxes that matter, they can have peace.
Yeah, absolutely. Continue. That's exactly what it's about. You know what the fruitless pursuits, they don't give you peace. Your life is still distorted. You're still unhappy. You're still sorrowful. You're still angry. You're still bitter. You're still resentful. You're still regretful. There's no peace in it. He said, but when I start making an adjustment and I start doing things that satisfy the Most High in the Spirit, he said, then the Most High ensures that my rest, I don't have to have guilt on my mind. I don't have to worry. I don't have to be afraid. I don't have to be paranoid. I don't have to be fearful. He said, man, my rest is sweet. See, people don't realize what they forfeit. They don't even see. Let me find this real quick. They don't even see what they're forfeiting.
So we're giving things in exchange. We're exchanging our peace, our solitude, our contentment for empty pursuits, for collecting things, for looking for false experiences.
Read this right here. Read this. This is in Bible Knowledge Commentary. I want you to read this 3 and 5. Con. Oh, we need one? Yes. My bad.
Bible Knowledge Commentary. To trust in the Lord wholeheartedly means one should not rely.
It says to trust in the Lord wholeheartedly means that one should not rely on what?
Lean on his own understanding.
So that means that if I'm going to trust in the Most High, that means I have to abandon my pursuits and what I think is right, what I think is going to make me happy, is what I think is going to bring me peace. Read on.
For human insights are never enough. The Most High's ways are incomprehensible. Yet, it says right here.
Yet he is.
Yet he is trustworthy. All the wisdom a person may acquire can never replace the need for full trust in the Most High's superior ways.
So what he's saying is, the Most High has superior ways than we do. He has superior knowledge, and he has superior understanding, and we have to forfeit our own understanding in order to reap the benefits that the Most High has in store for us. The Most High makes this plain and clear in Isaiah chapter 55. Somebody give me Isaiah chapter 55 real quick and read chapter 6.
Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 6.
Ready, sir.
Read that.
Come. Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 6. Seek ye the Most High while he may be found.
It says that's why when you got an opportunity to get the scriptures, you got an opportunity to get a new way of thinking. When you have that, the Most High said, turn ye and live. Or why shall ye die, O house of Israel? That's why you have to take full advantage of every opportunity you have when it comes to changing and doing things the right way. That's why it says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, while you have opportunity, before it's too late. Read on.
Call ye upon him while he is near.
He says, call ye upon the Most High while he is near. Meaning the Most High is available if I reach out to him. I don't have to stay in a unrecovered situation like we read in the first book of John chapter 5 when Christ saw the man laying sick for 38 years. Man on his decrepit state, impotent state for 38 years, and his only answer was, I don't have no man to help me.
It's not me.
Yeah.
It's the fact I'm a victim of circumstance.
Right. Other people are stepping over me. They're taking my opportunity. That's why it says, seek ye the Lord while he is found. Read on.
Come. Let the wicked forsake his way.
All the Most High wants you to do is what?
Forsake his way.
That's all he wants you to do is change. That's all he's expecting. The minute I start to make a change to say, you know what, I've fallen, I've slipped, I've backslid, I've regressed, I've made mistakes, I've lived after vain pursuits that actually were empty when I pursued them and chased them. I got nothing in return for it but pain and suffering and lack of sleep. All the Most High is expecting is a little bit of change. That's all he wants. Start making that change in the right direction. Start to recover yourself from your demise. Read on.
Let the wicked forsake his way.
Read on.
And the unrighteous man his thoughts.
It said, and the unrighteous man his what?
Thoughts.
Let me slow it down a little bit, man. I'm trying to go through it because I want to finish it, but I need to slow it down a little bit. So read that part again.
So I got this question.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that the class started with the impotent man as the point of focus. Now we're back at that concept,
Mm-hmm.
right? He was a victim of circumstance in his mind.
In his mind.
In his mind, his thoughts.
Yeah.
That's where thoughts are at, right?
Right.
His thoughts in his mind. So he's supposed to forsake that thinking or forsake that. Try to get the understanding.
Okay. So what you have to do, and that's why I say we're gonna slow it down. Read this part one more time right here.
Come. Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 7. Let the wicked forsake his way.
Now, he said, let the wicked forsake his way. Meaning what? Let me slow it down. What does it mean to forsake your way?
Acknowledge that your way is wrong.
Exactly. You have to confess that the way you do things are crooked.
Nobody else has to do it.
Nobody else can do that. You're not going to make a change until you can acknowledge that your ways are wrong. Yes, sir.
Just like you said, you mentioned to abandon those pursuits.
Yeah, you have to abandon that mindset, that lifestyle, those pursuits, You have to, but that the pursuits are based on ideas. The pursuits are based on thoughts, and they're based on habits. So I have to let go of these pursuits, but I have to forsake my thoughts. I have to forsake the way I think. See, we just read a second ago that the one that trusts the Most High trusts the Most High with his whole heart, not 50-50. You know, I believe in the scriptures, but I really don't live by the scriptures. That's somebody that I think you just read it, though.
Yeah, superior ways, right?
Yeah. Read that one more time, right here.
Right here. To trust in the Lord wholeheartedly means one should not lean on his own understanding. For human insights,
it says for human insights, go ahead,
are never enough.
It says it's never enough. Your mind isn't smart enough to recover you out of your demise. Your mind isn't smart enough to elevate you out of your problems. You alone is not sufficient to be able to excel yourself and push yourself forward. You may be able to capture a better job. You may be able to capture a new relationship. But that doesn't mean that you alone is sufficient enough to solve all your problems using just your wisdom. It's not sufficient enough. That's why you have to forsake your thoughts in order to really change and recover yourself from your falls. A just man falleth 7 times, but rise again. The only way you're going to rise again is you got to let go of the thoughts that made you fall. The thoughts that make you fall, you have to confess them. I'm going to show it in a second. But read that part again. That's why I said I'm going to slow it down.
Come, Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 7. Let the wicked forsake his way.
Read on.
And the unrighteous man his thoughts.
And the unrighteous man his what?
Thoughts.
His thoughts, man. The thoughts is what's killing us. You know what Tobit understood? Tobit understood. Let me go ahead and keep. Now I'm gonna keep up with this with these scriptures right here. Let me go to Tobit. Somebody get Tobit real quick. Get Tobit chapter 3, read verse 1.
Tobit 3 and verse 1.
Great.
God, read that.
Then I, being grieved, did weep, and in my sorrow prayed, saying, O Lord.
He said, and in my sorrow, I made a prayer in my sorrow, man. When I looked at my condition, he said, I made a prayer in my sorrow, saying what?
O Lord, thou art just.
He said, man, you know what? Lord, you're right. What does that mean? If the Most High is right, then who's wrong?
You're right.
Then I'm wrong. If I could at least confess and acknowledge in the fact that my life has been going downhill because the Most High's way of doing things is correct. The way I do things is wrong. So that's why Solomon said that he had to go all the way right and all the way left to figure out what's the best life. Like Amiathi just read in Ecclesiastes chapter 2, he said, man, I found out that wisdom was better than folly. But you know what? That was an expensive lesson. So it's better just to serve the Most High and pursue his wisdom.
Sometimes the issue is there's people around us that agree with our stupid thoughts or our false pursuits. Some people,
or we look for people that agree. Because a friend cleaveth to his light. A man cleaveth to his light.
When there's a decision to make, there's always one person who says do this, and that's anti the flesh, anti the direction that my flesh wants to go. There's a person that may be close to me that always says, baby, it's going to be okay. Let's go ahead and make this happen. I got you, homie. Let's go ahead and smoke this weed. Right. I got you. Let's go ahead and hit the spot up.
Man, loosen up.
Look. All you gotta do is just go over here, the application, put the hours in, and we're straight after that.
Yeah,
there's always a convenient conference. What I'm saying is there's always a convenient voice, the voice of convenience that pulls us off the right decision.
Man, you know in the cartoons, they always had an angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other shoulder. And they both were talking. And that happens every day. Every day it's a battle of thoughts. You got your conscience telling you what to do, and then you got scriptures and the Most High's counsels telling you what to do. Who do you listen to? Because that other guy's always whispering to go the easy route. Man, you ain't got to work this hard. Yeah, this is too hard, man. There's always, you ain't get a day off. It's bullshit. You know what? I bet you everybody else got a day off. Man, is this really worth the pay? I don't even understand what's going on right here, man. How long are we going to be doing this? Is this a year thing? Is this a 2-year thing? Is this a 5-year thing? How much time I got? I don't know. I got to do the same thing every day. It's getting old. Same old rigmarole. Right? You got that guy talking. And then you got the Most High say, he that endured to the end, the same shall be what?
Saved.
Shall be saved. Commit thy works to the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. Then you got scriptures going in this shoulder. Who you listening to? You listen to this guy, or you listen to this guy? This guy is about convenience. He's about ease. He's about pleasure. He's about satisfaction. Those vain pursuits. That vanity. He's about that vanity. Man, you need to make yourself feel better. That's vanity, man. Feelings come and go. But you got this guy telling you, stay strong. Endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai. Right? You got this guy talking on this side. Who do you listen to? That's why Tobit is saying this. Brother online, we're reading from the Apocrypha. In particular, we're reading from Tobit, which is, I believe, the second book of, third book. You got First Ezra, Second Ezra, and Tobit. Third book in Apocrypha. All right, we're in chapter 3, read verse 1.
Tobit, chapter 3 and verse 1. Then I being grieved, did weep.
He said, man, when I thought about it, man, I was crying, man. When I think about how stupid I am and how dumb my decisions are, he said, man, I weep, I cried, man. You know what? That's good. Because you gotta think about, meditate on your actions and all the damage that you've done to yourself and also the people around you. There's got to be some type of consciousness. If there's going to be a change, you got to have a conscience. You just can't be dirty and with no conscience. You got to at least analyze and say, man, how many people have I hurt? How many times have I hurt myself? I got to at least have some type of conscience to where I'm conflicted in my actions. That's why he said, man, listen. When I being grieved, then I being grieved did weep, and in what?
And in my sorrow prayed.
And in my sorrow I did what?
Prayed.
I prayed. So what is that? That's a humbling action to humble down and to say, you know what, Lord, I need help. That's humility. So this is what it takes to start making that conversion in the right direction, steering yourself out of tragedy. You got to sit down, humble down. Sometimes it takes tears. You know what the tears represent? It's cleansing, man. It's purging. Sometimes you got to cry the dirt away. People got to acknowledge, man. Listen, I'm down and out. I'm not in a good space. It might come with some snot. It's gonna come with some tears. But you know what? That doesn't mean all is lost. He said, I prayed to the Most High. Read on.
Verse 2. O Lord, thou art just.
He said, man, you're right, Lord. You're just. The way you do things is right. The way I do things is wrong. Same thing Solomon said that he pursued his life after to figure it out. And after all the riches, the gold, the silver, the treasure houses, the navy, the men's servants, the women's servants, the orchards, the wine,
the pools of water,
the 1,000 women, 700 wives, and 300 concubines. After all that, he said, man, all that other shit is vanity. The only thing worth anything in life is wisdom. So he said, the Most High, you are just. You're right. That means somebody's wrong. That's me. Read on.
And all thy works and all thy ways are mercy and truth.
He said, and in all your ways, you're very merciful, man. You know what that means? I believe that the Most High can heal me if he extends me some mercy. I believe it. You know what? Sometimes that's all you got to beg for, man. Sometimes when you want change, you got to be asking for that. You got to be asking, reaching out to the Most High for his mercy. How do you know this? Somebody go to Luke. Go to Luke. Chapter. Stay where you at though. We're gonna read in a minute, but you ain't gotta stand up. Somebody else get this right quick. Man.
What chapter?
I'm finna get it though.
Nah.
Let me think for a minute. Luke. I want Luke. I just want to bring this out real quick. Luke chapter 17,
God.
verse 17.
God.
Luke chapter 17.
Whoever got it.
Luke chapter 17, verse
17. Read it strong too.
17, verse 17.
Yep, yeah, 17 to 17. Read it strong, read it loud.
God.
You got it, next man.
Luke chapter 17, verse 17.
No, I want you to read verse 11. That's what I want. Go to verse 11. Read that.
Luke chapter 17, verse 11.
Yes, sir.
And it came to pass, as he went to Jerusalem, that he passed through the midst of Samaria
Samaria.
and Galilee.
Galilee.
Mm-hmm.
You got it. Go ahead.
And as he entered into a certain village, there met him 10 men.
How many men?
10
men.
It was 10 men with what?
That were lepers.
Yeah, what's lepers? They weren't leopards. You know what I'm saying? They were lepers. Meaning what?
Yeah, distemper mind.
It was a distemper of the mind that revealed itself on the external.
Yeah.
So it's a psychological issue that the Most High reveals on the outward skin, so that other people could see that there's an issue with this person inwardly. So that's what leprosy is, a curse. That's not a good thing. That's a curse. But that man's curse, because the curse is from within, the Most High lets it be known on the outward. So he said these are 10 men with leprosy. Read on.
Which stood afar off, and they lifted up their voices and said, Yahushua, Master, have mercy on us.
Stop right there. What did they beg for? Mercy.
They asked for mercy.
They asked for mercy.
They weren't told it. They weren't forced it. They were told her, you
brother,
better do this.
You know what? They had that devil and that angel. They said, well, you don't need mercy, man. Just be out here outside of the camp with all these other 9 lepers.
Yeah.
No, man. You need some mercy, man. You ain't trying to be outside the camp all day. When you got leprosy, you're not in the camp. You're disbanded. You're a vagabond. You kicked out the camp. You can't even come in. You're polluted. You're defiled. You're contaminated. And you'll spread that sickness to other people. So you got to live your life on the outside.
And the Spirit does that.
The Spirit does that because of what's going on the inside. But you know what these men got tired of doing? Living on the outside. Because when you're a leopard, you can't even come within the gates. You got to stay at a distance in the wilderness. You better put up your tent. You're not affiliated. Ain't nobody, and there's no mercy.
And I'm subject to what's going on the outside realm.
You know what? The army guards the perimeter. You're outside. So when there's wild beasts out there, you got to fight them wild beasts.
You got to deal with them.
You got to deal with them beasts.
Yeah.
When it's sodomites out there,
you got to deal with
them sodomites out there. Whatever it is out there outside the gate, you got to deal with it.
Huh?
But you know what? When that gets old, and you don't want that life anymore, and you want to make a change, all you have to do is do what? All you have to do is pray to the Most High and ask for what? Mercy, man. You better get it while you can. You better get the Most High's mercy while it's available.
But what if I'm collecting? What if I'm in I would ask for mercy, but I'm in the process of collecting.
Then I'm not really.
I'm in the process. I'm about to hit this big lick. I got this win going on. I'm about to hit the lottery. I'm about to sit here and get this. I got this new car coming. I got this new relationship about to pop off. Me and her just starting to get good.
Mm-hmm.
I need mercy, but I got other things that are, they're priority too.
Yeah, well, the Most High said, where a man's treasure is, his heart will be also. So my heart is only going to be where I find based on what I find important.
Mm-hmm.
So if I look at them new pursuits and new endeavors that I got going, new opportunities, then that's where my mind's going to be at. But if I want mercy and I'm tired of living this life, and I'm trying to recover myself and get back on top of my feet, and start progressing and moving forward in life, realizing that I'm living in vanity, nothing's changed in my life, just getting worse, then I got to reach out to the Most High. I need to make a call. That call is by prayer. And the communication within the call is, I need mercy. I need the Most High to help me recover myself and bestow me from my sickness. Because I can't do this by myself. You know what? That leprosy was going to be on them for a while. That leprosy wasn't going nowhere. That leprosy was going to be on that skin. And leprosy doesn't just stay on the skin. It starts a mutation process where it starts dissolving the fingers. Get some pictures. You ain't got to get them now. Go on your own time. Get some pictures to show how leprosy starts degenerating and starts creating tumors on the skin where your fingers start falling off. And they start becoming nubs. And then you start getting like just nubby crusts. You started off with 5 fingers, you got like some knuckles. Because leprosy just keeps eating away at the skin. It's horrible. But you know what? When that gets old, when that life gets old, and you're wasting away, then that's when you should be saying, you know what, Lord? I need this mercy, man. I need some mercy. Read on.
And when he saw them, he said unto them, Go shew yourselves unto the priest.
He said, go show yourselves unto the priest. Read on.
And it came to pass that as they went, they were cleansed.
He said, and on their way to the priest, they followed instructions. So they went to the priest, and on the way to the priest, they did what?
They were cleansed.
They were cleansed.
So can I say this?
Come.
So it's what that shows. That's a strong point, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That shows it's not because some people think it's just the priest,
Yeah.
the priest. We're not pushing us.
What do you mean when you say the priest?
Okay, let's say some people think that it's the specific priest or the specific man that's helping you that solves the problem. The Most High is healing you because you're in pursuit on your own behalf. The priest is just he's just a pawn of the Lord. He's a pawn. We are pawns.
You know, the priest is just the object
Con.
that the healing is supposed to come from.
Because our nation is good. We're good as a nation. And Jake, it's good for idolizing priests.
Right.
Idolizing the pastor. Pastor Jenkins taught such a good sermon this Sunday. That's the beautiful thing I heard. Listen, most I'm not dealing with Pastor Jenkins' sermon. He's dealing with the fact what are you coming here for?
How are you coming?
Con, am I coming here because I want to be healed? So I'm looking for whatever answer he has for me? Then you're getting healed because you're looking for the answer. You're in the spirit of looking for answers. And because on your own behalf, you're propelling yourself off your own desire, own volition. You're getting healed through your own volition, your own desire to be healed. There's a lot of health coaches out there. They also do the same thing.
I like that word volition, bro.
Yeah.
I never heard it before in my life.
Yeah.
So I just want to let you know, I ain't never heard that word in my life. But you know
It's
what?
a real word.
That came off so smooth. That came off so real. I believe it.
I better look it up.
You heard what he said? Your own volition.
Yeah, I'm voluntarily committing myself. I'm voluntarily committing myself to sit here and get healed on my own behalf, my own will. And the pastor will give you what you need at the right time because the Spirit will talk at the right moment and give you what you need.
They give you what you need, bro.
But it wasn't necessarily him. It was that you were in the pursuance.
And were you humble enough to follow instructions? Because that's what it comes down to. He says, on the route to the priest, they were healed. En route to the priest, they were healed. Before they even got there, they was healed. Read on.
And
I like that
and
word.
one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back.
He said, hold on.
Yeah.
He said, read that one again. Read that part again.
When he saw that he was healed,
Oh, he said, and when there was only one of them that saw he was healed. Read on.
turned back, and with a loud voice glorified the Most High.
He says, and one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back. What happened to the other 9?
I didn't see it.
They didn't make it all the way.
They didn't give the glory to the Most High.
Bingo, bro.
Wow.
That's why they didn't come back.
They were satisfied.
They got what they wanted. I got what I wanted. So that's what men do in the truth. They come in the truth just enough to get what they want. And once they get what they want, they got their healing. I got my rib. I got my stability. I got my sanity back. I got peace of mind. I got scriptures. I got a connection with the Most High.
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm good. I'm only here to get the healing, and once I get the healing, I go on to live my life.
That's often.
That's why it says out of 10, only 1 came back. What's that ratio? That's 10%.
Not good.
Wow, 10%.
That's a small percentage. So only 10% of the people that get spiritually healed actually are thankful, or actually appreciative.
That's crazy.
That's why I said a lot of us don't value what the Most High has to offer, and we take it for granted. We come in and start, like you said, we start collecting.
I look for alternative pursuits just because I need to fill my time up with something that I enjoy.
Right. So we read that again.
And one of them,
only one of them, go ahead.
when he saw that he was healed, turned back and with a loud voice.
And with the what?
With a loud voice.
With a loud voice, did what?
Glorified the Most High.
He thanked the Most High, bro.
That was sincere, though.
That was sincere. He was sincere. You know why? Because a lot of people take the truth for granted. They spit on this truth like it ain't no big deal. But you didn't realize it was a big deal because it gave you stability. It gave you healing. It gave you peace of mind. It gave you comfort. And it also changed the direction that you was going on. You was going on Crazy Man radio station. You was going in that direction.
That's the vibration I was in.
Yeah, you was on the verge of going to the clinics.
Yeah, and clinics was knew you by name. Hey, you're back? Oh man, I see you been having fun again.
Yeah, the clinics that where you can't have no shoelaces and no belts.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, I'm talking about them kind of clinics. You know what kind of clinics? I'm thinking, that's why I laugh. Yeah, the ones you can't have no shoelaces, you can't have no belts, and you got scrubs on that you got to hold you got to hold your pants up by one hand. You walk through the hallway in slippers because you can't have no shoes. And they got lockdown units, and you got a band on your arm that don't let you out the gate, out the door. And you always numbed up, and you got bathroom slippers on all day, and you got a little bit of rec time. You got dominoes, you got TV time, and they put you back in the room. A lot of us was on the way to that. But you know what? When you see what the truth has to offer, and how the Most High actually, by giving you this truth, was actually Him giving you mercy. Not many people come back and thank the Most High for what they've been given. And they despise what the Most High has offered them. That's why I said 1 out of 10. Read on.
And one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back and with a loud voice glorified the Most High. And when and he fell down on his face at his feet.
And he fell down on Christ's feet, bro. That's ultimate humility.
He lowered himself.
He lowered himself. That's humility. That's somebody saying, man, I didn't have the answers. So if it wasn't for you, I would still be sick. If it wasn't for your mercy, I would still be a clown. I'd still be a fool. Read on.
Giving him thanks, and he was a Samaritan?
Mm-hmm.
Samaritan. And Yahushua answering said, were there not 10 cleansed?
He said, didn't I thought it was 10? Didn't I
That's
heal
the
10?
crazy statement, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. I thought I healed 10, man. Man, it's only 1 came back. I thought I healed 10. I thought it was 10 left. I can count. You know Christ can count. It ain't like He can't count. You know He know how to count. You just dispensed 10 leopards of their skin back and their flesh back, and only 1 came back and said the water.
And listen, they were outside for a long time. They were out there for a small period of time.
Bro,
They got tents.
they had a little, you know, when you got 10 in a group, bro, that's a little community.
Camp, a little
You
camp.
got a little community. You got a little camp of leopards.
Yeah.
But only 1 of them came back to say, hey, the water. And I really appreciate it. And lowered himself and humbled himself. Read on.
But where are the 9?
He said, where the 9 at? Read on.
There are not found that returned to give glory to the Most High, save this stranger.
He said, that's a shame. Out of all the healing that's been dispensed, only 1 came back and said the water and was appreciative and humbled himself and gave glory back to the Father for this opportunity.
And he was a stranger.
And he was a stranger. That's what made it a shame. Read on.
There are not. He said unto him, Arise.
He said, get up, man. Get up. Read on.
Go thy way. Thy faith hath made thee whole.
He said, thy faith has made thee whole. Back to Tobit. The water, bro, for reading that. Back to Tobit, chapter 3. Read that one more time. Verse 2.
God, Tobit 3 and verse 2. O Lord, thou art just, and all thy works and all thy ways are mercy and truth.
He said, that's why Tobit said, listen, man, you're right, I'm wrong. All your ways are mercy and truth. Sometimes you gotta know when you're down and out, you gotta know what you're asking for. You gotta know what to ask for. First of all, you better be humble, you better pray, and you better be asking the Most High for some mercy. Anytime I'm in a position where I'm at a disadvantage, I gotta know what I'm coming to the Most High for and what I need from Him. Like these leopards, they knew exactly what they needed from the Most High. A lot of us don't know. We just know we need something. We just don't know what it is. We just know I need some help. I know I'm not in the right mind frame. I don't like my situation. I don't like my circumstance. I don't like my lifestyle. But I still don't know what I need. You know what everybody needs? You need some mercy. And then once you get it, you better come back and be thankful and not go live your life after you receive the recovery of your healing. Because that's what a lot of us want to do. We get the truth, we get the healing, and we out of here. We gone. See you. Thank you. Not even thank you. Thank you. I'm out.
Like I can keep the spirit that I got from the Most High and go do something else with it.
You can't take what the Most High got to offer, which is his spiritual healing, and run off with it in the wind and not show the Most High that you appreciate it. He'll give it to a stranger like this dude. He'll give it to a stranger that's more appreciative. That's the shame of it. Read on.
God, and thou justly, and thou judgest truly.
He said, you judge truly. Read on.
And justly forever.
Go ahead.
Remember me.
He said what?
Remember me.
You're asking the Most High to do what?
Remember me.
Don't forget about your humble little servant. See, the Most High is all about recovery. He's all about resilience. He's all about bouncing back from a fall, coming back from a fall. He's all about it. But are you about doing what it takes to get the Most High's attention? Are you begging the Most High to remember you? Think about me. Have mercy on me.
Wow.
Read on.
Remember me and look on me. Punish me not for my sins.
Don't hold my mistakes against me. So when you're in the pursuit of recovery, you're asking the Most High for mercy, you're praying to the Most High, and you're asking Him to not hold your mistakes against you. Don't count them against me. I acknowledge the Most High. The way you acknowledge the Most High, not is just in word or in tongue, but in deed and in truth. You acknowledge the Most High by trying to make a change in the right direction, forsaking your thoughts, asking the Most High to keep you in mind. Read on.
God. Punish me not for my sins.
Go ahead.
And ignorances.
He said, punish me not for my what?
For my sins and ignorances.
Both. Because one is just transgressing the law, breaking code with the Father. Other one is, I'm not aware. I don't even know what I'm doing wrong, but I know the result, the outcome, proves that I'm doing something wrong.
Man.
My condition is proof and validation that I'm incorrect. I just can't put my finger on what I'm doing wrong in mentality or wrong in action. I know over here I sin, but there's more to this. It's not just the sin. There's more to it than just the sin that got me in my condition. That's why it's ignorance. I mean, what I don't know. That means I'm uninstructed. That means I'm by myself. Because if you're with someone, you're not instructed, that's a problem. But often when we fall in these pits, we're by ourselves. And now we're subject to our ignorance.
Man, I like this. Read this part again, last part again.
God.
Like that, yeah, dope point, bro.
Tobit 3 and verse 3. Remember me and look on me. Punish me not for my sins and ignorance.
He says, I've made mistakes, I've sinned, I've transgressed the law, and also I was what?
Ignorant.
I was ignorant. Now, you know I gotta go to Philo sometimes. Read this right here. Line 154, page 220.
Line 154, page 220. Philo, the Jew.
Philo the Jew, right? Go ahead.
But since intoxication.
It said, but since what?
intoxication.
They said, so what's, somebody give me an example of intoxication.
You said an example?
Yeah, give me an example of intoxication.
Being disoriented from drinking too much alcohol.
Belligerent, disoriented, what else? You said belligerent, right?
Influenced.
Influence how?
Anyway, really.
Anyway, I'm under some type of influence.
Yeah.
Different state of mind.
I'm in a different state of mind.
Altered.
I'm in an altered state of mind, right? I'm in an altered state of mind. So, follow says what?
But since intoxication does not only display folly,
He said, but when you're intoxicated or you're under some type of other influence, you're under some alternative influence. He says you will display what?
folly.
He said that's one side effect of being intoxicated.
This is crazy, bro.
He says you will exhibit some type of folly. Folly will be the outcome.
Yeah.
That's one side effect to intoxication.
Crazy, bro.
What else?
Folly, which is the child.
He calls folly is like a baby. He says folly is the child or the baby of what?
Of ignorance.
He said ignorance has a baby. Ignorance's baby is called folly. That's the foolish stuff you do when you're intoxicated. You having babies. But your babies ain't regular babies. Your babies that you leave behind are foolishness. Because you're bound to make mistakes when you're intoxicated. When you're under some other altered influence. And when you come into the Most High, you got to be sober. You just can't approach the Most High any kind of way. Hold this and go to Leviticus chapter 10.
What verse?
Let me see. Start at verse 9.
Come. Leviticus chapter 10 and verse 9. Whenever you're ready, sir.
Let me get it. Read.
Do not drink wine nor strong drink.
He said, do not drink wine nor strong drink. Read on.
Thou nor thy sons with thee,
Read on.
when ye go into the tabernacle of the congregation.
Listen, when you go to the tabernacle, when you go to do the service of the Most High, you're doing the work of the Most High, you're coming in the sanctuary of the Most High, you're approaching the Most High, you got to be in the right mind frame. You gotta come when you come to the Most High. You gotta come to the Most High in a sober mind state. Read on.
Lest ye die.
He said, "Lest ye what?
Lest ye die."
The Most High said, "Listen, if you come in intoxicated into the sanctuary, I'm gonna kill you."
That's what he's saying.
That's why we put a sign up, the class rules. That's a copy of the class rules from a long time ago. It probably still say no beepers and no pagers. That's how old that damn sign is. But it also say no alcohol, no drug. Be sober, man, because you know what you gotta come. You gotta know how to approach the Most High to really get His attention. Because remember in Tobit he said, "Remember me." So if you asking the Most High to help you, to aid you, to give you assistance, then you better do your best bet into being sober. You gotta make the effort. You just can't come to the Most High any kind of way. Somebody else go to Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 1 real quick before we read on. Somebody get Ecclesiastes in the Bible chapter 5 verse 1 real quick.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 1. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High.
Man, you better check yourself. You gotta check your feet. You gotta know what you're standing on. You gotta know what you're about when you go to the Most High. Man, you can't be all over the place when you go to the Most High. You gotta be clear and you gotta be concise and you gotta know exactly what you need. That's why we read in Tobit. It says he's telling you, I'm tearful, I'm sorrowful, I'm praying, I'm begging you to give me mercy. I'm asking you to remember me. And I'm pleading that you don't hold my mistakes against me. And I want you to forgive my sins and my ignorances. So you got to know what you're doing when you come to the Most High. He's not a joke. And he's not to be played with. Because what you need what he has to offer you. So you got to be sincere in the retrieving of what he has to give you. So that's why he said when you come to the Most High, he said keep your feet. Read on.
Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be ready to hear.
And be ready to what?
To hear.
So you got, when you go to the Most High, you can't be intoxicated with your own thoughts. You can't be under any other type of influence with your opinion. That means you've already forsaken your thoughts when you come to the Most High. Your thoughts are already forsaken. That's why I said you got to be ready to what?
To hear.
You better be ready to get instruction.
Be ready to hear. I mean, that's I'm already prepared. I prepared myself to hear.
Yeah, instead of saying, you know what, I already know what they're gonna say. I already know what the priest's gonna say.
I know that scripture.
I already know the scripture. I got that scripture. I got it highlighted already. I knew the scripture before he pulled it. He said, man, you better be ready, or your mind can't be full of anything else but then what you need from the Father. He said, be ready to hear. What else?
And be more ready to hear.
Then what?
Than to give the sacrifice of food.
That's a crazy point.
The sacrifice of food is your opinion. That's the sacrifice that a fool has to offer. Is that baby that you got. That sacrifice of fools, because that's what the baby of ignorance is. Folly. And folly is foolishness. And that folly is from an opinion. I got a way that I want to do things, but I need the Most High's healing. I need the Most High's mercy. I need the Most High's forgiveness. But I want to do things my way.
And what makes it foolish is that your way hasn't worked.
And it don't work, bro.
It hasn't worked.
That's what makes it foolish.
That's crazy.
It don't work.
But I still push.
But I still want to insert my way somehow, versus just humbling down completely, asking the Most High to take over my situation. That's what it means to forsake my thoughts.
Because you said
I come in with an empty mind. I don't know shit. What I do know ain't working. Plus, what I've been doing, Solomon already said it was vanity. He already lived that life, so I didn't have to. Let that go. Go back to Leviticus. You want to say something?
No, you read earlier in commentary. Is that even if you have wisdom, man's way is still not superior to the way of the Lord. Even though you have wisdom.
Even if you got wisdom.
So how much more if I'm a fool? If I'm a fool, it's even worse. But even if I have wisdom, I still have to submit.
And that's why we went to Isaiah chapter 55. Somebody still got that?
55 and 6.
Yeah, so who still got that?
Isaiah 55.
Okay, hold it. Just hold it. Finish that in Leviticus.
Yeah, I was holding Isaiah the whole time.
Yeah, read that.
Leviticus 10 and verse 9. Do not drink wine, nor strong drink, thou, nor thy sons with thee, when ye go into the tabernacle of the congregation, lest ye die. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations.
He said, man, you make sure that this is when people are in the sanctuary, bro. They better have a clear mind. You gotta know exactly what you're asking the Most High for. He's not to be played with. He's not a joke. You can't take him lightly. You gotta know especially when you know you need his healing. You better show some type of contrition. Contrition is sorrow for past actions. That's what contrition is. We know this from what? Psalm 51. Read that. Psalms 51. Might be 16 or 17.
Psalms 51 in verse 16. It says, someone got it.
Psalms chapter 51, verse 16 reads.
Somebody else give me Psalms 34 and 18. Read that, yep, my one.
Come. Psalms chapter 51, verse 16 reads, for thou desirest not sacrifice.
See, the Most High don't want you to give him what you think he wants. But the Most High will tell you what he wants from you. Read on.
For thou desirest not sacrifice.
He don't care about no animals being slaughtered. No physical offering to the Most High. No earthly offering to the Most High. That's not what the Most High wants. Read on.
Else would I give it.
He said, if the Most High wanted a physical sacrifice, I would give that. Something tangible. What does the Most High want? Read on.
Thou desirest, Salakia, thou delightest
not in burnt offerings.
Read on.
The sacrifices of the Most High are a broken spirit.
What does the Most High want that you cannot find somewhere at a ranch?
A broken spirit.
That you can't pick up from a farmer?
A broken spirit.
That don't bad. What does the Most High want that's not animalistic or something tangible that you can kill and slaughter and say, look, Lord, look at what I gave you? What does the Most High want more than any of those things?
A broken spirit.
You know what broken means? Broken means willing to be led. You know what the Most High wants more than anything that you can bring up to the table? Will you follow? Do you know how to follow? More than anything that you can bring to the Most High, do you know how to do what you're told? Do you know how to listen? Do you know how to be obedient? If you want to really get the Most High's attention, change the channel, turn off your thoughts, and turn on the Most High's thinking. Start doing more listening than giving your opinion. That's why I said the Most High, what the Most High really wants from men is to shut down their own damn mind. Because men are full of opinions. They're full of their own damn things that they want to give the Most High. Well, the Most High give the Most High this, he should take that. No, man, you got to give the Most High what he wants. The Most High said he wants what?
A broken spirit.
The broken means willing to. Are you willing to be led? You gonna let somebody steer you? Are you gonna yield yourself to other men's control that oversee you? That look after your spirit? Are you gonna yield your? Are you gonna willingly give up control so somebody can show you something? Or are you still gonna go off your 2-bit wisdom that hasn't worked, doesn't work, and is and in the end of all things, like Solomon said, it's vanity and it's a vain pursuit in the end and it's worthless. It's unfulfillment. You still don't get fulfillment doing things your way. Solomon already been there and done that. Read on.
The sacrifices of the Most High are a broken spirit.
What does the Most High want?
A broken spirit.
What else?
A broken and a contrite heart.
And what's a contrite heart? A heart that's regretfully sorrowful for past actions as to not repeat them. That's what contrite means. Meaning, I feel so bad for what I do wrong that I don't want to repeat my mistakes anymore. And I don't. Now, I know it's not easy because some people say, well, it's easier for you to do it, but, it's easier said than done. Or, hey, cigarettes wasn't easy for me to give up. I got the truth. And ain't nobody here when I got the truth. Everybody else I got the truth with ain't here no more. They got healed and left.
So these legs feel great.
Yeah.
His arms are nice.
That leprosy left and it got off and they dipped. So ain't nobody here to remember that. But when I got the truth, my first class, the first thing I did after class was go to Valero across the street from class and bought a pack of cigarettes. That was the first thing I did after leaving class. And my brother said, man, what the hell are you doing? I said, what are you talking about? He said, man, you just came from class. I said, so? So? What does that mean? That class didn't do nothing to me. It was just one class. It was a good class. It was the Garden of Eden. Brother broke down, where's the Garden of Eden? I said, okay, the Garden of Eden's cool. I know where it is now. That didn't change my habit. That didn't change what I was into. That Garden of Eden class did nothing to convert me from what I was attached to. But you know what? You know when I started realizing that the Most High is serious. You know when I started realizing he's serious is when I was paralyzed from the neck up. And I couldn't move my face. It's called Bell's palsy. Palsy is a paralysis. So that's basically when your cranial nerve that comes out of your ear, that wraps around your face, you have nerves that come out of your ear, big nerves that come out of your ear, and they wrap around your face and they control all your facial muscles. I couldn't blink. I couldn't whistle. I had to put tape on my eyes to go to sleep at night because my eyes didn't close. I said, man, the Most High not playing with me. It was like that. I went to the doctor. I said, man, what's going on with me? He said, you have a paralysis. I said, I didn't know. You know when I ate a hamburger, because I couldn't move my mouth, I would eat my own lips. When I ate a hamburger, I put the burger in my mouth and I chew down on the burger. But because it was a paralysis, I couldn't feel it. So I was chewing on my own face. I was eating my own face from the inside. I'm eating the burger, and then all this blood started coming out like a vampire. My brother started laughing at me. You think the Most High a joke, huh? I went to the doctor. I was like that for 3 months. Had to put tape on my eye every night to go to sleep. Like that for 3 months. I drink out of a straw. All the liquid just coming out because I couldn't make it. I couldn't form my lips. I couldn't form my lips to drink out of a straw. So I sip out of a straw. I drooled out everything I was drinking. Look at you. Think the Most High a joke? You need to go back to class. The first day I came back to class. After the first class, I went and smoked a cigarette after class.
This is 3 months.
This is 3 months of facial paralysis. My first class, I started feeling a tingle in my face. My second class, my mouth started twitching. I said, oh man, I could feel my face. Like the weekend, right? I can't, you know, so I could feel, I started saying, I could feel. The third class I went to, I got a little baby smile, like a little smirk. Because before I was laughing like this. Oh, wow. I laugh and you nothing move. I'll be laughing like the Joker. So, you know what the Most High did? The Most High had to smash me. And I'm glad he did. Because I wasn't going to quit them cigarettes. Man, I wasn't going to stop. Something drastic had to happen for me to wake up and say, man, the Most High is no joke. That was the first thing I noticed. See, the Most High, he's merciful, but he ain't to be played with either. He's not to be played with. And so what the Most High wants is submission. So we don't have to realize, man, the Most High ain't with these damn. I'm giving them these damn cigarettes, man. It ain't worth it.
It's not worth
it. It ain't worth eating my face.
No.
This is not worth it, bro. Bloody mouth every time I eat something. That is not worth it. Putting tape on my eyes to go to sleep. Man, how many nights I gotta do this? I gotta keep a roll of tape by the nightstand. Hey, I'm about to go to sleep, man. Hey, good night, everybody. I'm about to go to sleep. Brother, the Most High is not a joke. That's why I said the Most High wants obedience, man. He wants you to follow. You put down what you think is right or wrong and start following, start listening. Otherwise, the Most High will increase the infirmity. He'll increase the tragedy. Just to show you, like Solomon, man, all this was worthless. Read on, finish that.
A broken and a contrite heart, O power, thou wilt not despise.
He said, if you decide to adopt that mentality, he won't hate you for it. He'll make peace with you. Read that other verse in Psalm 34.
Psalms 34, verse 18. The Most High is nigh.
Stop. He said the Most High is nigh. That means what?
Near.
The Most High is close, man. The Most High is close to you. When?
The Most High is nigh unto them.
Unto them that what?
That are of a broken heart.
That are of a what?
Broken heart.
They feel bad for what they do wrong. They have a conscience, man. See, I won't change if I don't feel bad. That's the science of it. If you don't feel bad for what you do wrong, you're not going to change. That's the science behind change. That's why what the Most High is looking for, he's looking for sorrow. Do you feel bad about your mistakes or your sins? Are you like Tobit saying, Lord, forgive my sins and my ignorances, my stupidity, my folly, and them little babies that I got? You know what the little baby is? That little baby is a baby of folly. Read that again for me one more time. Right here.
It says, but since intoxication does not only display folly, which is the child of ignorance.
It's the child of what?
Ignorance.
Ignorant men make babies that are foolish. Those babies are mistakes. They yield a hell of a lot of mistakes. Read on.
But also utter insensibility.
They become what?
Insensible.
What does it mean to be insensible?
That makes any sense.
Without
No,
reason?
not necessarily insensible like sense, but it's sense like to be sensible, like to feel, like to be
Numb. to
they're,
their own,
they're numb to their mistakes.
Yeah, affected them.
So he said, ignorances,
No remorse.
no remorse. They don't feel bad. You become dull.
Care.
You don't care because you don't feel. He said that's what being intoxicated does. It numbs your ability to feel bad. So how can you come to the Most High when you're intoxicated? He wants you to feel bad for your sins, but you can't feel bad because you're numb. So how can you heal? You can't. That's why you have to be sober first. You have to be sober first so you can feel again. So then you can feel bad. So that when you do feel bad, then you come back to the Most High, then He restores you because you feel bad. But as long as you're intoxicated, you're numb.
Insensible.
You're insensible.
That's a heavy point, like, because that could prevent so many of us from. I don't want to deal with the feeling that I get when I face my mistakes.
Right.
I want to face that and feel that. Because
if I feel it, I feel bad.
Right. And then,
But if you don't feel bad, you won't change.
right.
So if you stay numb with your intoxication of choice, it dulls your ability to feel. You become insensible. So you can't feel. So guess what you did? You ruined your opportunity to give the Most High the sacrifice that He really cares about, which is humility, obedience, and submission. But because, and sorrow and contrition, but you can't give Him sorrow and contrition because you're too busy intoxicated. Finish that?
It says right here. It says, and since again, wine is the cause.
And wine is just an element of influence. It doesn't matter if it's wine or any other influence or any other stimulant or any other up or down or whatever it is, or even thoughts or ideas or vain pursuits. If that's what's on my mind, it's similar to wine because that's what got me under that possession. That's what possesses my mind. Possesses. That's what I think about. That's what dominates my thought process. Read on.
Wine is the cause of that insensibility which affects the body, while the cause of the insensibility of the soul is the ignorance of those things which it in its proper and naturally are acquainted.
Right.
Read it again. It says, again, wine is the cause of that insensibility.
To the what?
Which affects the body.
He says two things that affect the body. He said, but there's one thing that affects the spirit more than it affects the body. Yeah, you may intoxicate yourself to feel numb. Or you may numb yourself with your pleasure pursuits. He said, but there's another part of ignorance that affects the soul. He said that's what ignorance, wine to the damaging of the body, the intoxication of the body is what ignorance is in equivalence to what it does to your soul. It's equivalent to wine, but spiritually. That's what ignorance is. That's how strong ignorance is.
It influences the soul.
It influences the soul. Just like wine influences the body. They both intoxicate a person's ability to reach and connect to the Most High. So he's explaining the damage of both. Wine is damaging, being intoxicated under some type of influence is damaging, but also being ignorant and foolish is damaging also. That's all he's saying right here. Read on. Now read that. Yeah, finish that, and then go back to Tobit. Hold that. You at Isaiah 55. You can sit down. We'll get that in a minute. What you got? Okay, just hold it. Hold tight.
Well, the cause of the insensibility of the soul is the ignorance of those things with which it is proper and natural to be acquainted.
Right. So now you can't be acquainted with virtue and morality because you produce foolishness. You have a bunch of folly babies. And so you can't bring a sacrifice to the Most High that will yield repentance. That's why John the Baptist said, "Bring therefore fruit, meat for what? You can't bring no fruits together because you're too busy intoxicated with foolishness, ignorance, or your element of choice."
Yeah.
more so than it is the wine, is the opinion. And we'll show that in a minute. Matter of fact, go to Tobit. Who had Tobit chapter 3? Finish that in Tobit right there. Then we'll come back to this point.
You want verse 3?
Yeah, verse 3.
Now, Tobit chapter 3 and verse 3. Remember me and look on me. Punish me not for my sins and ignorances, and the sins of my fathers who have sinned before thee.
He said, and the sins of my fathers who have what?
Sinned before thee.
He said, who have sinned before thee. Hold this in Tobit. And he says, man, he's asking the Most High to forgive him for his sins and his ignorances. Now, read this right here. Now, we're still on this point. We just want to finish this point right quick. Read this right here. Same follow, just different line. The line 160, 162.
God.
Read this.
But there are two kinds of ignorance.
He said there's more than one type of ignorance. He said there's two types of ignorance. He's going to explain. Read on.
One simple.
He said one is easy. Read on.
Being complete insensibility.
Which is what? That means I'm numb. I don't know no better. And I don't have the ability to see my mistakes. Read.
And the other of a twofold nature.
He said the other one is a twofold nature. He says two types of ignorance that men possess. What are the two types of ignorance men possess? Read on.
When a man is not only enveloped,
like an envelope. Like you got an envelope. You put you could say enveloped. It's like an envelope. He said when a man is like in an envelope, or he's enveloped, that means this man is surrounded by and encased and enclosed by his errors and by his mistakes. He's wrapped up in his mistakes. So he's fully given to his mistakes and he's trapped in his mistakes. He's enveloped or enveloped, but it's really enveloped. Same thing as an envelope. Read on.
Enveloped in ignorance, but also...
He said that's the easy one. That's the first one. A man is so deep into his way of doing things, he's stuck. He can't get out. He don't even know how to get out. He don't even know. That's what makes the truth so glorious, because it helps you get out of your ignorance. So that's the easy one. Read on.
But also thinks that he knows.
He said the worst one is the second one. The worst one is what?
But thinks that he knows.
It's when a man is he's wrapped up in a situation where he's physically, spiritually, morally declining, and he doesn't have the answers. But he still think what?
That he knows.
He still think he knows something. That is the worst type of ignorance. It's when somebody is falling and making damn big ass mistakes, but they think they know. They think they know what it takes to recover themselves. They think they have the answers. That's even worse, is what he's saying. They think they know what?
Think he knows what he never has known.
He said, damn, this man think he knows what he's never known. That's why his decisions have never worked for him. To think you know something that you don't even have a clue of is the worst form of ignorance. Because that's called what?
Pride.
That's called pride. That's exactly what it is. That's pride. When you think you know something and you ain't got no damn clue. You know why you don't know something? Because you never really followed to understand. That's why you're not fully informed. Because you never followed long enough to know how to get yourself out of ignorance and pull yourself up and recover out of ignorance. It is insanity. Read on.
Being elated with an ungrounded opinion.
It says he's elated, excited by an ungrounded what?
Opinion.
And pride by definition is what?
An opinion.
Unduly, meaning it's an opinion that's baseless and it's without merit and it's undue, meaning he didn't deserve that opinion. He doesn't deserve to have that opinion. That's what makes it undue. You hold on to a way of thinking that you don't even deserve to think that you got answers, but all your answers and ways of doing things collapses. How do you hold on to that? How do you think your way of thinking has value or merit and everything you do fails? It's like you got the touch of death. It's not the touch of gold. You don't got the Midas touch. Everything don't turn to gold when you touch things. Everything you touch turn black and it crumbles and it fails. You got the touch of death, but you think you know something. That's an unduly high opinion of oneself. That's what makes it even worse. Read on.
Being elated with an ungrounded opinion of his knowledge.
Damn. I got an ungrounded. It hasn't been found to be true. It's not substantial to stand on. It's not firm. It's not to be trusted. And it's not exercised with experience. All I've ever done was fail, but I still want to hold on to what? My way. My opinion.
He's living in theory.
Yeah.
This is the problem. For people that give you true, valuable, applicable experiences that have happened, coupled with scriptures that have proven themselves over a process of time to be true, that men can stand on. And there's men that have theory and imagination, because they go together.
Mm-hmm.
That evil imagination, evil means injurious. I have an imagination that injures me in the end.
Man. Finish that.
The former evil is the lighter one.
He said the former evil is the lighter one, meaning the one where you were just wrapped up in your sin and you didn't know how to get out. He said that's the lighter of the ignorance. The worst one is when you think you know something and you think you got answers and you've never had answers. Yes, sir.
Can you read the enveloped part again?
Read that part one more time.
It says when a man says.
Read up from the top. There's two kinds.
But there are two kinds of ignorance. One simple, being complete insensibility, and the other a twofold nature. When a man is not only enveloped in ignorance, but also thinks that he knows what he has never known, being elated with an ungrounded opinion of his knowledge. The former evil is the lighter one, for it is the cause of the lighter offenses, but of what we may perhaps call involuntary errors.
It's involuntary errors because I didn't know no better. The first one. That's one that the Most High said, at this time of this ignorance, the Most High winked at. Acts 17:30, right? The Most High winked at ignorance when a man don't know nothing. He said, but this other kind is the worst kind.
But the second is the more importance, for it is the parent of great evils.
He said, just like intoxication and ignorance, folly is the baby of ignorance. He says this second ignorance, which is pride, is the parent to what?
Of great evils.
It's the father or mother of great evils. Read on.
And not only of unintentional, but also of deliberate offenses.
Damn. So that means that even though I knew it was wrong, I did what? I did it anyway. See, that's the ignorance that the Most High hates. Because now you're moving into a different category.
You're presumptuous.
Bingo. Now, let's read that. Go to Numbers chapter 15.
Verse 30.
Yep. Read that.
There's no. Numbers 15 in verse 31.
Somebody else give me Psalms chapter 19 verse 13. Read that.
God. Oh, verse 30 actually. It says, but the soul that doeth aught presumptuously.
It said, but the soul that does what?
Doeth aught presumptuously.
Read.
Whether he be born in the land or a stranger, the same reproacheth the Lord.
It said the same does what?
Reproacheth the Lord.
That's the one that really, that mind state really angers the Most High.
Yeah.
If you want to get under the Most High skin, it's one thing to be ignorant and you don't know no better. But it's another thing when you make deliberate choices to make errors and mistakes, but you expect the Most High to come through for you. Read.
And that soul shall be cut off from among his people.
It said that soul shall be what?
Cut off from among his people.
Read on.
Because he hath despised the word of the Lord, and hath broken his covenant, his commandment. That soul shall utterly be cut off. His iniquity shall be upon him.
Read this right here. The BKC, Bible Knowledge Commentary on that same point. Read that right there.
The last regulation deals with a case of defiant sin.
He said when I'm ignorant, but meaning that willful ignorance, meaning I know when I think I know something that I really don't, but I'd rather trust my opinion than trust the Most High. So I'm gonna still do what I want to do anyway. He calls that defiance. That's a that's presumptuous to be, which means bold or to be impudent or to be willful. That means I'm going to do what I want to do no matter what. He said that's now I'm not even classified as a minor ignorant offense. This is like, that's not a slap on the hand no more. That's not a wink anymore. I'm deliberately telling the Most High, I'm going to do what I want to do, regardless of what you think or not. Now I'm in the lane of defying the Most High now. I'm making myself Nimrod, a rebel. Read on.
Committed knowingly and deliberately.
I'm sorry, read on one more time.
The last regulation deals with a case of defiant sin, committed knowing and deliberately. Such sin is described as blasphemous.
He said this sin is described as what?
Blasphemous.
Go ahead.
Because it was an arrogant act.
Because it's a what?
An arrogant act.
Man, to think that I can just do what I want to do and there's no repercussion and the Most High is not going to punish me. He said that's an arrogant act. And to have no remorse, to not feel bad, to not have sorrow. The Most High, he said he's explaining how you're telling the Most High, you can't control me. You can do what I want to do. You can't control me. I make the decisions here. I live the kind of life that I want to live. You're making yourself a direct enemy to the Father. Read on.
It says, because it was an arrogant act of insubordination.
Damn, man, he calls it insubordination, bro. Man, you in the military, you get kicked out for that. You get reprimanded for that.
Discharge.
Yeah, you get discharged. You want to be a nigga Antonio Brown? You just want to take your pads off in the middle of a game, throw the deuce up, and jog to the sideline, run through the end zone with no shirt on. You just want to do what you want to do. It don't matter what the game, it don't matter what the score is, it don't matter who's up, who's down. You just gonna do what you want to do. You're gonna be Dennis Rodman, huh?
Yeah.
You're gonna do what you want to do. The Most High don't play that, man. Read on.
A challenge to the lordship of Yahweh.
It's a challenge to the lordship of who?
Of Yahweh.
Read on. I'm challenging the Most High. Go ahead.
And his covenant demands. Anyone guilty of this kind of sin must be cut off.
He said they must be what?
Must be cut off.
Because you're a direct enemy of the Most High now. And there was times that I can say that I did what I wanted to do. And the Most High also, there's more. I ain't even saying all the curses the Most High got me with. Eventually I probably will. But there's more the Most High dropped. There's more hammers the Most High dropped on me when I said, you know what, I'm going to do what I want to do. And it's up to the Most High to stop me. That's when life became very painful. That's when life became very scary. And life was very difficult. Because I carried that type of arrogance without contrition. And it was bigger than just ignorance. It was willful. It was bold. I made that decision to just do what I want. How can you get mercy from the Most High with arrogance and pride? Without humility. Without sorrow. Without contrition. Read the next verse.
It was Psalms 119.
19 verse 13.
God. Psalms 19 verse 13. Keep back thy servant.
That's why David said what?
Keep back thy servant.
That's why he said, keep back thy servant. What David was praying for the Most High for? He said, Lord, please keep me from what?
Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins.
From presumptuous what?
Sins.
From presumptuous sins, meaning keep me back from doing things that I know that's wrong, but I want to do it anyway. Please don't give me that spirit where I get so bold to where I disregard counsel, I disregard instruction, and I just want to do what the hell I want to do. He said, please don't give me that spirit. He's begging the Most High not to put that spirit on him. To where I get so bold that now I'm in a direct fight with the Lord. It's not a place that no man wants to be in, because it's a place that no man will win. That's why the Most High asked in Ezekiel 33, he said, why will ye die, O house of Israel? He said, why don't you just turn? He said, turn ye from your evil ways and live. Why would you provoke me to anger to cause me to sting you and punish you? Why would you cause me to kill you? I'd rather you just change. But you're not going to change when you're not looking at giving the Most High what he wants. See, when you understand what the Most High wants, go to 1 Samuel chapter 1. Read verse, get straight to the point.
Which verse?
Give me 1 Samuel chapter 1. Start verse 9 real quick. Read it fast.
1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 9 reads, So Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by a post of the temple of the Lord.
Read.
And she was in bitterness of soul.
And she was in what?
In bitterness of soul.
Go ahead.
And prayed unto the Lord.
And she was in, when you're in bitterness of soul, what should you be doing?
And prayed unto the Lord.
You should be praying to the Most High. Read on.
And wept sore.
Go ahead.
And she vowed a vow and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid.
He said, if you please, just like Tobit said, will you remember me? Will you check me out in my affliction? Will you not leave me abandoned? Will you not leave me alone? Will you pay attention to me? Just like Tobit said. Tobit went through a few steps though. He wept, he prayed, then he asked the Most High to forgive him for his sins and his ignorances. He did one more step too. It said that he said, hold not my sins against me. He said, don't remember my sins and forgive me for my sins and my errors, my ignorance. He said this woman wept, she prayed, read on, and she's asking the Most High to remember her. Read on.
If thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid and remember me.
She said, can you please look at what I'm going through? Can you pay attention to what I'm going through? Can you not forget me? Read on.
And not forget thine handmaid.
Read on.
But wilt give unto thine handmaid a man child.
He said, but give me a man baby. When you read up, we're not reading the whole thing. When you read up in the chapter, she would go every time to the temple, and she would get mocked by all the sisters that had babies. She didn't have no baby. And she would get mocked and laughed at because the Most High shut her womb up. Yes.
What wasn't she fighting with somebody too? Like
it was the sister wife.
Yeah.
It was a sister wife. So she was getting mocked on a regular because she couldn't have a baby. The Most High shut the womb up. So after getting ridiculed time and time again, laughed at, mocked, ridiculed over and over and over, so she said, Lord, you know what? I'm at the point where, can you see me? Can you pay attention to me? Can you not forget me? Can you help me? Read on.
God. Then I will give him unto the Lord.
He said, if you give me this man child, this little baby, this man baby, he said, this baby is yours. I give him to you. He don't belong to me. I give him to you in return. Read on.
Then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life.
Read on.
And there shall no razor come upon his head. And it came to pass, as she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli marked her mouth.
So Eli was checking her out while she was praying. Read on.
Now Hannah, she spake in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken. And Eli said unto her, how long will thou be drunken?
He said, man, woman, you drinking too much. He said, you tripping. You talking, ain't nobody there. How long you going to be drunk? Read on.
Put away thine wine from thee. And Hannah answered and said, no, my Lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord.
Now you got to pay attention to what she said right here. She said, I have not drunken no wine nor strong drink. She said, but what was I doing?
But
have poured out my soul before the Lord.
See, when you really want the Most High to pay attention to you, that means you pour your soul out. And one of the commentary statements made about what it means to pour your soul out to the Father is that you completely give over your way of thinking, and you consecrate your mind frame and dedicate your mind frame like Hannah dedicated Samuel, because that was the man child. That was Samuel. So just like Hannah, which her name means grace, just like Hannah sacrificed her son to say, Lord, if you give me this, if you listen to me, if you hear my prayer, I'm going to give you my son. To pour out your spirit is the same thing, but with your thoughts. You're telling the Most High, I'm giving my thoughts over to you. So now my thoughts are consecrated and they belong to you now. My thoughts don't belong to me anymore. My thoughts are only going to dwell on the things that is important to you. I'm sacrificing the way I look at life. I'm sacrificing my decision making. I'm sacrificing the way I treat people. I sacrifice the way I treat myself. You know what I'm doing? I'm abandoning and I'm casting off my thoughts. I'm leaving my thoughts behind. That's what she's saying when she says she's pouring out her spirit. So when you pour out your spirit to the Most High, your thoughts don't belong. You're pouring out your opinion. Your thoughts don't belong to you. You know what belongs to you? What the Most High gives you. You know where your mind dwells on? On what the Most High considers important. Not on being a collector. Not on trying to figure out how far my life can go seeking pleasure. Everybody want to be Janet Jackson. It's the pleasure principle. It's the principles of pleasure.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all remember that. I don't sing it right. Y'all say that? It's the pleasure principle. No, what she say? It's the principles of pleasure. That's That's a wicked song if you actually think about it.
It's a deeply wicked song.
What she's saying is the principle in life, the most important thing in life is pleasure.
The principle. Oh.
Yeah.
It's the present principle.
Yeah,
that was chase something.
That was the 80s, though. Listen, that's a wicked song when you think about it. Because she's singing saying that the most important thing, the principle in life is pleasure. That's Nimrod, bro. She's in the same category as all these other female singers, bro. Singing about the same thing, man. Lust. Cuff It, right? Beyonce? It's lust, right? That's all, you know what I'm saying? That whole album is about...
She said it's not enough. I need a prescription.
Yeah.
Let's take it up higher. I always want to go higher.
Yeah.
She's putting a spell out there on people. Right?
She is, right? So, brother, what people do is they need to give over their thoughts to the Most High and abandon their own pleasure.
I gotta go here because she wasn't just singing bullshit. She was singing something based on a reality. It says, pleasure principle.
I didn't even know, bro.
In the classical psychoanalytic theory of Sigmund Freud, who's a Satanist? The pleasure principle is the psychic force that motivates people to seek immediate gratification of instinctual and libido impulse, such as sex, hunger, thirst, and elimination.
That's an animal, bro.
Yeah.
You got to feed that beast. Wow, bro. Read that one more time. Now, you know we can't sing, but just read that one more time.
Read one more time. Okay. Pleasure principle. It is the classical psychoanalytic theory of Sigmund Freud.
Mm-hmm.
The pleasure principle, is the psychic force that motivates people to seek immediate gratification of instinctual or libido impulses,
which is arousement. Libido is arousement. Sexual stimulation and arousement.
Such as sex, hunger, thirst, and elimination. It dominates the ID and operates most strongly during childhood.
So, you know, it's feeding an impulse.
Strong sensuality from youth up.
Somebody pull up now with that in mind, since you brought that up, that's somebody looking for immediate gratification and stimulation. Somebody pull up the Stanford Marshmallow project.
Marshmallow?
Yeah, marshmallow. The Stanford Marshmallow project.
Interesting.
Project or experiment?
Experiment.
You got it. Tell me about Wikipedia?
Yeah, just you read it. You might just read what it is.
Yeah. The Stanford Marshmallow Experiment was a study on delayed gratification.
It says it was a study that Stanford University did on what?
Delayed gratification.
They did a study on delayed gratification, not Janet Jackson's pleasure principle, which is a psychiatric thought process that Sigmund Freud explained. Somebody that pursues the lust and the excitement and instant pleasure. He said the Stanford Marshmallow Project experiment was an experiment done on delayed gratification. Meaning what? Read on.
In 1972, led by psychologist Walter Mischel.
So both of these are psychiatric things, psychological things. Sigmund Freud and this Walter Mitchell. Read on. Basically, a study in the mind, how the mind works. Read on.
A professor at Stanford University. In this study, a child was offered a choice between one small but immediate reward.
He said a child was offered as a choice, a small. So if you do something good, you get an immediate reward. Read on.
Or two small rewards if they waited for a period of time.
Or if you wait, if you get double. Man,
that's a hard one for a child.
Yeah, that's a hard one for a man. That's hard for a grown ass man and a grown ass woman.
That's right.
Because if you wait, you get better blessings when you're patient.
That's real.
And your patience possesses your what? Your souls. So this experiment, opposite of what Sigmund Freud brought out, was okay. Let's see what these children choose. Read.
Now, during this time, the researcher left the room for about 15 minutes and then returned. The reward was either a marshmallow or a pretzel stick, depending on the child's preference. In the follow-up studies, the researchers found that children who were able to wait longer
for children that are able to wait what?
Longer.
What? Go ahead.
For the preferred rewards, tended to have better life outcomes.
They have better what?
Life outcomes.
So what they were doing, as the experiment that they were doing for children, actually had a long-standing effect on how they lived their life. So the children that were patient, that were willing to wait for the reward to come later, but the reward was greater. And they say, I'm gonna deny myself from pleasure at this moment, at this time, for a greater reward later. He said those individuals had better lives. How many impulses have you followed and given yourself to that's ruined your life? But he's showing you how the mind operates. So if I'm used to, that's why you don't give a kid something right up because he wants it, she wants it, just give it to him. They're crying, give it to him. No. Make him earn it. Make him work for it. Put a work ethic in there. Make him earn that. No, clean your room I'm not just giving you this. You get this after you do this. How do you get a dolphin to do a backflip? You don't give him the fish first. You bring him, you call him, you tell him what to do, he do it, he do the backflip, he come back to you, you give him the fish. What did you tell him? Man, how do you make a dog shake your hand? Boom, shake your hand, give me your paw. No, you don't get the treat yet. Give me your paw. You get the treat, or you give me your paw, I give you the treat. Boom, your gratification. You don't just give, that's how you spoil your kids. You wonder what the hell is wrong with these kids later. Because you never told them how to wait. You always gave them what they want that fed their pleasure. That fed their impulse. They don't know how to wait. They don't know how to have patience. And their life is screwed. Because they're used to just feeding themselves with what makes them feel good. Finish that?
It says the children who were able to wait for a longer period for the preferred rewards tend to have better life outcomes as measured by SAT scores.
They have better SAT scores. What else?
Educational attainment.
They have better they reach higher heights in education.
Which requires focus.
Well, that means that I gotta deny myself. I know that I gotta deny myself because I have a greater goal that I'm trying to get to. So right now it's not time for the college frat parties. I can't do the frat parties right now. I can't do the all-nighters. I can't do the beer fest. I gotta go home and study. I'll have my fun later in life. What are you training the children? Train up a child the way he shall go. When he is older, he shall not depart. If I train a child, have fun now, live life now. Now bring that scripture that you had earlier that you brought out in the beginning of the class. If I train up a child to engulf themselves in pleasure now, their life is crap later. Or I teach them, man, learn how to have discipline and learn how to wait. Learn how to have self-control. Learn how to use abstinence. Learn how to withdraw yourself from what you want. Learn how to put yourself on pause. You're not going to die because you don't get what you want right away. Man, my kids always do that. Oh, man, you better wait. The longer you do that, the longer you're going to wait. The more you throw a fit, the worse you're going to have to wait even longer. Or you might as well forget about it. Especially you're going to act like that, you might as well forget about it. You ain't getting it at all. Okay, Dad. I'm sorry. I gave her a hug. I said I'm sorry. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. You already know, man. That is something about that dude, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But he got a strong spirit. I got to box him in, man.
Oh my goodness.
Got to box him in. That dude, he want to do what he want to do. You know what I'm saying? It don't work like that. But read that right there, Dawiyah.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1, and then verse 5 through 8. For the ungodly set reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. For we are born at all at venture. We shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath of our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of the heart. Verse 5. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning. For it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things.
Let us do what?
Let us enjoy the good things.
Man, let's live our life now. We'll worry about all that other stuff later. That's backwards. Yes, sir.
They call it live fast and die young.
YOLO.
Yeah, you only live once, man. Life's a beach. Live it up.
Playing in the sand.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let us enjoy the good things that are present.
So when you learn how to you learn how to teach people to wait. Withdraw yourself from what you want right away. There's greater rewards that they actually obtain later in life because they put themselves on a regimen and a disciplined schedule, a mind frame of where I know that my reward for what I'm giving myself for now, I can benefit more and later and greater, and it'll overall have a greater impact on my life if I learn how to hold myself back from what I want. It's all in the training. It's all in the training. You used to feeding people what they want and giving it to them. You spoil them. They no good. They don't listen. You can't tell them nothing. They don't follow. They're rebellious and disobedient because they're used to getting what they want. So they'll find a way to get what they want. If you don't want to give it to me, fine. I'll find a way. You know what they're doing? They're finding a way to hell is what they're doing because the Most High is not dealing with that spirit. He said, "Your patience possess your souls." You need to learn how to operate with patience and discipline and focus, concentration. That means you got to learn how to box out all the things that as a distraction for your attention. And you know what? You want to go out? Let's go bowling. Let's go roller skating. Let's go downtown. Let's go walk. Let's go ride. Let's go joyride. Let's go get some pleasure. No, why don't you sit down somewhere? Why don't you sit down for a little while? Why don't you keep yourself locked in the seat and let the Most High bless you with something later on? Won't you have enough faith to know that if you deny yourself now, life gets better later? Read.
Let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine, and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us.
Yeah, that's that Roman mindset, man.
Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds
Man, that's
before they be withered.
that's paganistic. That's Bacchus, bro. You serving Bacchus at that point. If you don't know who Bacchus is, that's the god of mirth and wine and for the Romans. Pleasure, yes sir.
Do you want to read that 9? The definition of voluptuousness.
Yeah, read that.
It says, let none of us go without his part in our voluptuousness.
Voluptuousness, 1828. It says addictiveness to pleasure or sensual gratification.
It says addictiveness to what?
To pleasure or sensual gratification.
I'm addicted. What I didn't realize my problem is, I'm addicted to what?
To pleasure.
To pleasure, man. So if I'm going to recover myself and I'm going to come back and have this resilience that we read about earlier, which is the ability to bounce back from a fall, then I got to know that I got to give the Most High what he wants first, and then he'll take care of me second. That's Matthew 6:33. But seek ye the Most High in his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto thee. I got to give the Most High what he wants from me first.
Up front. Yeah.
Up front. Then he'll bestow pleasure on me later. That mind frame has to be trained. I don't give a damn how old you are. If you didn't get it as a child, you're going to get it now. Because your life depends on it. Because that's true. When we know, Most High said, man, my people are destroyed for what?
Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge. They don't be knowing what's killing them. You know why you don't know what's killing you? Because you've been trained to just give yourself immediately for what you want. And you don't let nobody stop you when you want what you want. You don't even stop your damn self. And you wonder why life is on a decline and not on a come up. Did you finish that in that marshmallow experiment?
Yeah, it was nothing else.
That was the whole point. Just to show what it was, what it's about.
They went years later, and the ones that denied themselves became doctors and lawyers and like skillful occupations. They became like, they followed them like years later. Okay. They grew up. These people grew up. They
learned how to wait, man.
Yeah, they grew up and they were successful in their endeavors. But they drew all the way back to those that marshmallow experiment. And then the ones that didn't that didn't win the experiment on, they had bad lives, bro.
They had horrible lives.
They had bad lives. They actually went and followed their life and saw what happened.
Yeah, but that voluptuousness, you got the definition one more time?
Voluptuousness. Addictiveness to pleasure or sensual gratification.
Damn, that's that instant gratification.
Yeah.
That's that pleasure principle.
Yeah.
I got to enjoy what I want first. I'll pay the cost later. No, you don't. You don't realize what it costs. You can't afford to pay the cost. See, it's a lot of people that they can't let go of what feelings that are attached to this pleasure, to this life. An example of this, and we're going to tie it up, we're going to finish it up with this. Let's go to Luke chapter 18. Somebody start at verse 22. Then we're going to try to get straight to the point.
Luke 8.
Whoever got it, bro. Somebody.
Luke chapter 18 and verse 22.
No, verse 19, verse 18. Start at 18. Just read on down real quick.
Luke chapter 18 and verse 18.
Man, I kind of want to read this real quick. Give me that Isaiah 55. I'm sorry, brother. You had it. You hold it. We never read it all. 6, right? Yeah, 6 on down.
Isaiah 55 and verse 6.
Read that.
Seek ye the Lord while he may be found.
We never finished it. So he says, seek ye the Lord where he may be what?
Seek ye the Lord while he may be found.
Read.
Call ye upon him while he is near.
Go ahead.
Let the wicked forsake his way.
They said what the Most High wants from all of us is for us to pour out our spirit, like Hannah said. She poured out her spirit, meaning she's giving away her opinion, and she's giving away her thought process, and she's consecrating her mind. That means she's doing whatever the Most High wants her to do, and she's forfeiting her way of doing things in order to get a blessing. That blessing was Samuel. Read on.
Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts.
And it says, and the unrighteous man is what?
His thoughts.
You got to pour out your spirit, man, to the Most High. You got to give up your thoughts. Your thoughts is all about instant gratification and pleasure. The Most High is about discipline and patience. And he got bigger blessings for you than what you was going to get anyway. that you were going to get for yourself. Read on.
And let him return unto the Most High.
And let him do what?
Return unto the Most
And
High.
let that man come back to the Most High. That's all the Most High want anyway. Give up your thoughts and come back to the Most High. Stop doing things the way you want to do it. It's not working anyway. Read on.
And he will have mercy upon him.
And he will have what?
Mercy upon him.
And that's why the Most High is about recovery. The Most High is about resilience. He is about getting you back on your feet. But it does take something. Lose your opinion. Stop making your own decisions.
Is my opinion worth it? Is my opinion worth the suffering?
A lot of people think so. Read on.
And to our power, for he will abundantly pardon.
He said, and the Most High said he will abundantly do what?
Pardon.
He'll forgive all that. You know, a lot of people don't want to be healed because when they are in their sin and they're they're pretty much reaping the benefits of the pleasure that comes with sin, is what the indulgence of sin, the connections, the people that they met, the affiliations. They feel like if I get healed and I make a change, I'm selling out the people that I had fun with. Doctors have seen this mindset in people of why they don't want to change all the way. It's because I feel like I had so much fun in my sin with these individuals that if I change, I'm selling them out. Who wants to stay in a... I come from a ghetto situation. Everybody I know wanted to get out the ghetto. They didn't want to hold on to the ghetto. And as quick as they could, as fast as they could, they got the hell out of it. They didn't feel like, man, I'm selling out the hood, man. I'm selling the hood out, man. I got to stay true to the hood. I got to stay in the ghetto. What? But some people actually have this mindset that if I change, then all those people that I enjoyed the pleasures of sin with, they will be forgotten. And all that fun was in vain. And I left them behind. And I don't want to leave them behind. I don't want to leave those individuals behind. I don't want to leave that excitement behind, that feeling that I felt when I was indulging with those individuals. I don't want to leave that behind. And that's the part that's sick, that keeps a person from healing faster, is their attachment to their negative and the pleasure from it. And the people that they were, man, you know what? If you was in a hood situation, even people in the hood didn't want you to be in the hood. They say, man, you got some talent. You got to get out of here, bro. You too smart. Don't even come out here. Don't be on the block. Go in the house. You too smart. You different. Man, tuck that rag back in your pocket. You're not a gangbanger. You got some potential. You got some talent. Go in the house. No, man, I got to keep it true. I got to keep it 100, man. I got to rep the block till I die. This is why some people don't change. They feel like they're abandoning the culture. Man, you better leave that culture behind.
That's facts. That's facts, bro.
You better leave that culture behind. That culture's a dead culture. That music is dead man's music. That's what I call hip hop. Yeah. Dead man's music, because all they talk about is killing. Stupid, man. Read on.
God, for my thoughts are not your thoughts.
That's why the Most High said, man, listen, my way of doing things are not your way of doing things. What I care about, what you care about is not what I care about. Read on.
Neither are your ways my ways.
Read on.
Saith the Most High.
That what you call fun, the Most High said, man, I don't call that fun. What you call pleasure, that's not real pleasure. What you call joy, that's not real joy. What you esteem and elated as excitement is not real excitement. That's foolishness. That's folly. That's ignorance. Read on.
For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways.
Read on. Read
and
quick.
my thoughts than your thoughts.
Read on.
For as in the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven.
He says, this is how my intentions work. He said, just like when I ordained the rain to come down and the snow to come down out of heaven. Read on.
And returneth not thither.
And it goes exactly where I want the rain to go. The rain finds its way exactly to where the Most High wants the rain to land and the snow to fall. It hits the target that the Most High wants it to hit every time. Read on.
but watereth the earth,
Read on.
and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower.
And what I do is for production. And what I do grows. When I touch something and I have an intention for something, it prospers. For what you do, everything dies. What I do, things come to life. When you touch something, things fall apart. That's the difference. My wisdom works, yours don't. So why follow your wisdom? My wisdom yields something positive, your wisdom yields something destructive. Read on.
That it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please.
Do your thoughts and your opinions and your lifestyle, does it accomplish the things that you pursue? Do you actually find satisfaction? I guarantee you won't. Because Solomon said, I've been there and done that. He said it's all vanity. It's not going to accomplish what you've been pursuing. You think you're looking for joy and you're not finding it. There is no joy in your decision making. There's nothing that comes to life. Everything falls apart based on how you do things according to your system. Read on.
And it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it.
Do the places you go prosper? Does the people that you interact with prosper? Does your opinion prosper even for yourself? Does it benefit even you? Probably not. Your wisdom is ineffective. It's ineffective. The Most High's wisdom is efficacious. Somebody get that word efficacious. That's the difference. Grab that word.
Efficacious. Effectual. Productive or effects.
It says productive of what?
Of effects.
Meaning it produces an effect. Yes, it's the right effect. It's growth. The effect that you have with your wisdom is death, separation, destruction. Everything falls apart. It's backwards. So the Most High is saying, we got two ways of thinking. Why not just give up the way you think and adopt the way I think so that you can become productive? That's all he's saying. Let that go. And go back to finish where we was at in Luke, right?
Come. Luke chapter 18 and verse 18. Whenever you ready, sir.
We ready.
Come. Reads. And a certain ruler asked him, saying, Good master.
Go ahead.
What shall I do to inherit eternal life?
Go ahead.
And Yahushua said unto him,
He said, man, what should I do? What he's saying is, I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to listen. I want your opinion. I'm embracing your opinion. What you give me, I'm willing to receive. Read on.
And Yahushua said unto him, Why callest thou me good? None is good.
He said what?
None is good.
Read on.
Save one, that is the Most High.
So he said, first of all, you're looking at man and not the Most High. You need to be looking at the Most High. So the first thing the Most High is doing is redirecting his focus. Read on.
Thou knowest the commandments. Do not commit adultery. Do not kill. Do not steal. Do not bear false witness. Honor thy father and thy mother. And he said, All these have I kept from my youth up. Now when Yahushua heard these things, he said unto him, Yet lackest thou one thing.
He said, yeah. He said, you've been doing all this since your childhood? He said, but you're missing something. He asked for Christ's opinion, right?
Come.
So he got an answer. He said, yeah, you got 99% of these things correct. He said, but you're missing one thing. Read.
Sell all that thou hast.
He says, you're too attached to something. There's something that you don't want to let go of that's holding you back. And every man got to ask himself that question. Every woman got to ask themselves that question. What are you holding on to that you don't want to give the Most High?
Opinions.
Read on.
And distribute unto the poor.
He says, sell everything you got and give unto the poor. Think about other people than just yourself. You got all the commandments down packed, but you got too much thought about what you want. You too much enthralled and enveloped on what pleases you. Think about other people. Go outside of yourself. Come outside of yourself. Look at the benefits of the people around you, not just you, me. Read on.
And thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come.
And you might not have instant gratification. He said, but you'll have treasure where?
In heaven.
So yeah, it may be a temporary loss of financial gains on earth. He said, but you're stacking treasures in heaven. Read on.
Come, follow me.
And he said, now follow me. Now you're ready. I'm finna lead you to salvation. We're on the road to salvation. Read on.
And when he heard this, he was very sorrowful, for he was very rich.
Nobody want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear that. I got to give up something. I got to lose so other people can gain. Why can't it be my way? Read on.
And when Yahushua saw that he was very sorrowful, he said, how hardly shall they that have riches enter into the kingdom of the Most High?
Read on.
For it is easier for a camel to go through a needle's eye than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
Go ahead.
And they that heard it said, who then can be saved? And he said,
we can't make it, man. Go ahead.
And he said, the things which are impossible with men are possible with the Most High.
He said, the things, if the Most High wants this and it's too hard for me to do, who can be saved then? If this man was 99% effective as far as what it takes to get to salvation, but he was missing only one thing, and if that one thing kept him from the kingdom, then, man, we're never going to make it. You would think that it's almost impossible for no man to make it as close as that man was. You would think so. Now, finish the class with this. Jump down to chapter 19, read verse 1.
Come. Luke chapter 19 and verse 1. And Yahushua entered and passed through Jericho. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, which was the chief among the publicans.
So this man was a tax collector. He had a Jake occupation. He was a tax collector, but he was a Jew. Read on. He was a tax collector for the Romans, just like Matthew was. Read.
And he was rich.
And he was what?
And he was rich.
This man was rich too, but he was a sinner. He didn't follow no commandments. Read.
And he sought to see Yahushua.
He said, man, I want to see I want to see what all the rave is about. I wonder why every time this man comes to town, people get excited. I want to see what all the fuss is about. Who is this man that people keep talking about? So this man is rich, but he's a sinner. Read on.
And he sought to see Yahushua, who he was, and could not.
So did he know Christ? No. He said, man, I want to know who this man is. I want to see this man. Read on.
And could not for the press, because he was little of stature.
He was a short man. This man was like, I don't know what he was like, but he was short. You know what I'm saying? He was a little man. He was a little rich man. He was a little man with a lot of money. Yeah. You know, they're playing like Fantasy Island. I know that's an old reference. You know what I'm saying? But he was small, but he had some money. He was a little man. He said he couldn't see because the crowd was too thick. So what did he do?
And he ran before.
So he ran ahead and did what?
And climbed up into a sycamore tree.
So this little rich man that was short went and climbed up in a sycamore tree. Read on.
To see him.
To see what Christ, to get a glimpse of Christ. Now he didn't know Christ. Read on.
For he was to pass that way.
He said he knew he going to walk down this street, so I'm going to get ahead of him and jump up in this tree so I can catch a glimpse of him. Read on.
And when Yahushua came to the place, he looked up and saw him and said unto him.
So you see a little, that sounds like some Levite stuff. I don't know if he was Levite or not. That's Benjamin, climbing trees. He said, hey, here's a call me in them trees too.
was an arborist.
Yeah, he's an arborist. He said, Yahushua looked up in the tree and it said what?
And saw him, and said unto him, Zacchaeus, make haste, and come down.
He said, Zacchaeus, make haste, come quick, come down. He never met Christ. What does this show?
Most High knows exactly.
Christ knows the sinners. That's what this shows. He ain't never met Christ. He's just trying to catch a glimpse of Christ. What this shows is that Christ knows the sinners. So he knows you. He knows your mistakes. He knows your filth. He knows your dirt. He knows you're polluted. But that doesn't mean Christ don't love you. That's why he said, Zacchaeus, come down. Do what?
For today I must abide at thy house.
Make room, man. I'm coming through. I'm sleeping at your house tonight. Read on.
And he made haste and came down and received him joyfully.
He said he received Christ how?
Joyfully.
See, the rich man walked away from Christ sorrowful because he didn't want to lose. This man is a sinner, don't know the commandments, but appreciates and values entertaining Christ and making whatever room, making whatever space, and excited about serving Christ in whatever capacity he can. Being a sinner. Read on.
And when they saw it, they all murmured, saying that he was gone to be guest with a man that is a sinner.
How the hell Christ gonna go and be a guest and be in the same house with a man that's a what?
A sinner.
So you know what that means? Christ wants to make a house with you. He wants you to make room for him. He wants to be your guest, but you got to let him in.
That was the mission.
That's the mission, bro. You got to let Christ. You got to let Christ be a guest in your house, even if you're wrong. Yes, sir.
He wants you to hurry up too.
Yeah, he said, "Be quick, come down. Be quick, make haste." He said, "Don't make it too long to where you don't invite Christ into your house, man. That's your mind. That's in your spirit." Because you know what? This shows that Christ knows the sinners by name, even though they don't know him. But it's how you embrace Christ and how quickly you embrace Christ when you get the opportunity. That's why it says, "Seek ye the Lord where he may be found." When he's available, you gotta make the opportunity quick. You don't got all day to make this decision, to make this connection with Christ. You don't know when the Most High is going to pull your plug for the mistakes that you make. Read on.
Verse 8. And Zacchaeus stood and said unto the Lord.
So he made a commitment and he made a confession and a commitment at that moment. Not like the rich ruler, where Christ said it's very hard, like a camel to go through an eye of a needle, than for a rich man to make it into the kingdom. This man was rich too. But this man was a sinner. But this man made a confession. And this man made an immediate change. And what was the change? Read.
Behold, Lord, the half of my goods.
He said, you know what I'm going to do from this day on? Since I got a chance to meet you, Christ, and you stand at my house, and I'm a sinner. He said, well, everything I got, half of it is going where?
I give to the poor.
Did the rich man want to give to the poor?
No.
The other rich man? He said, you missing one thing.
He had a problem with that.
Sell all you got and give to the poor. It said, and the rich man walked away sorrowful. This man is a sinner, same situation, has something to offer, and he makes an immediate commitment to the poor the same day Christ stays in his house. Immediate commitment. You know, from this day on, I'm giving half of everything I own to who?
The poor.
Read on.
And if I have taken anything from any man by false accusation.
He said, man, even if it's not true, but if anybody believes that I extorted somebody out of something, read.
I restore him fourfold.
I'll pay it back fourfold from this day forward. Read on.
And Yahushua said unto him,
what did Christ tell him?
This day is salvation.
This day that you decide to make a change and you take advantage of the opportunity, whatever day that is, you decide to make a change and you take advantage of the opportunity. Christ called that day what?
Salvation.
He said, yeah, this day is salvation, man. This day, because you decided to make a change. So that day that you decided to make that change, Christ called that day salvation, man. You're on the road to recovery. You're on the right path. Read on.
And Yahweh Shah said unto him, this day is salvation come to this house.
He said, come. He said, salvation is going to come to this house, where this man decided to make a change. Read on.
For so much as he also is a son of Abraham.
So not only is he a Jew, he's a son of Abraham, but he's willing to do what other men that's wealthy like him aren't willing to do. He's not willing to depart from what he possesses and think outside himself.
And that made Abraham great, because Abraham had abundance. Abraham had a lot of, he had servants born in his house. So he had people that were born in his house as his servant. So if he had servants, he was a don. He had ownership. He had power. He ruled something. Most people were like, I'm not gonna serve God because you know what? I gotta get me going.
Yep. So we're seeing something magnificent right here. It's not impossible to serve the Most High. You know why? Read the last verse.
Come, verse 10. For the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost.
The ones that wasn't living right. So is the Most High about recovery?
Come.
Is the Most High about resilience?
Come.
Is Christ about resilience?
Come.
Is Christ about recovery?
Come.
All it takes is you just submitting. You just got to submit your opinion. You got to forsake your thoughts. You got to pray to the Most High. You got to ask for His mercy. You got to throw away your thought process. You got to learn how to follow. And he said that, and that day that you decide to make that change, that day is salvation. Any questions? With that, we're going to say shalom. The water for watching. We'll be back in action on Friday. And the water for everybody that's online. We'll see you again on Friday. Let me go ahead and shut this down.